Who would like to recap what happened in the last session?
Zorg knows more than half of what happened.
Yes.
The
I
stuff.
mean, yes, because half the session was Zorg's 1v1.
Yep, pretty much. Zorg tamed Big Wolf and 1v1'd it, and Stefan saved Zorg with a Fate ability. And Quelkek magically healed Zorg through their mental link.
I mean, to go into more detail, yes, you did. You subdued the Wolf of Geneth. You got the Mark of Geneth, which is going to affect your personal skill now that you've got 2 marks.
We'll get all the marks.
You wanted to give the wolf lightning powers, so despite my warnings that, hey, this shard has been known to electrocute people, and also it's kind of bloody right now. You sure you want to do it? And Stefan was there with the save just in case. And Stefan did save you from a whole bunch of checks by manipulating fate, now that he is officially part of the Church of Sirkava.
Stefan OP.
Okay. Continue? Because I believe there were more things that happened that session.
I believe we made a plan to. It was at the meeting that there's going to be a shard at that we heard rumors of that we don't know if it's true or not. And Quelkek wanted to scout it out and know beforehand whether we should act upon this or if it's a trap.
So the Plague Doctor, Ash's friend and NPC, approached you guys and basically told you the results of the questioning of Winston Berg. Winston Berg basically said that he was offered a lightning shard because his other plans fell through. Specifically, it seems that there was a hobgoblin who was supposed to get a shard out at sea, but apparently those plans fell through. So, the meeting, he said, is one of two things. It is either a trap, or it is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to get an advantage over your enemy. And yes, Quelkek did start his infiltration. You can continue if you remember what happened during Quelkek's arc. Do you remember?
Yes. Some of it, I remember that we talked about the plan that we were gonna do with the shard, if it was the case. But I forgot that it was Plague Doctor that told us this.
Well, do you remember what Quelkek had done and saw? Because he's going to report at least half of it, and the Plague Doctor is going to report half of it as well.
I do not remember.
Alright. Well, Committee of Players, do you think you should get inspiration for that recap?
No.
Definitely not.
I
But
think I should because I didn't even attempt to do it.
No, I'm ruthless over here. He got a dog last time. He doesn't get inspiration.
Yeah, I mean, I stepped in and corrected and elaborated on a lot of information that he doesn't remember the second half. Okay, continuing from the Plague Doctor, so Quelkek decided to launch his own personal investigation. He started tailing Winston Berg. Winston Berg went to a gambling place. He did not gamble at all. He just went to the back rooms and met someone who we now know is Anton the Beggar, who was also part of the revolutionary faction under Darren Stormright. Quelkek put his little scarab familiar on Winston as he went back to his home and opened up the package in his room. He had made sure that the curtains were closed, everything was locked before he opened it, and part of a demon popped out of a big portal. There were runes in abyssal carved all over its body. One saying, I believe he only had part of the words. Be my sword and be my shield. Something along those lines. Along the portal saying, sunder the limits of space, or something along those lines. Basically, the demon tossed out a little pocket watch that is tuned for 24 hours, and basically said, meet up at the usual place in the sewers within 24 hours. Tomorrow will be the day of the Tournament of Steel. Seeing how you guys probably want to do other things besides participate in the tournament, your name is probably going to be quietly pulled from the list. And Winston started pacing around, slowly having a panic attack. Quelkek wanted to pursue Anton, and he is going to lay an ambush at one of the sewers. And also, Quelkek entrusted some of his information to Stefan. He doesn't quite trust the two people who are actually part of the revolutionary faction at the moment, aka Zorg and Ash. Is there anything else important I missed? Alright.
I think that's basically it. I can't think of anything else.
Alright. Let's see. Quelkek, if you wanted to, you could try to work with the House of Right, unless you're suspicious of them, in which case you can continue operating alone.
I am suspicious of them. I think here's my in-character reasoning. So I went to the guy who controls the entire city, told him that there's giant monsters outside, and he looked at me and said, politics. So I don't exactly have a high opinion of these guys, and assume that whatever they're going to do is just going to be for the purpose of themselves. So, yeah, not trusting them is kind of an understatement.
Okay.
So I'm not going to work with them unless required to. That's kind of my thing at this point.
Alright. Quelkek, I do want you to make, let's say an Arcana check. Just to see if there is something that you do notice. You have all the senses you need in order to notice something, but let's see whether or not you do notice it.
Can I do survival? Or is this purely magical? Darn it. Okay.
It's purely non-material.
Gotcha. I was hoping that there'd be an element like finding like candles that are made out of the munched up bones of children or something. I don't know. Some ritual. I don't know what they do. That's a 14. It's demons, man. I don't know what they do.
Something feels just a little bit off to you, but you can't quite pin it down. It's not so much a feeling of like there's something powerful nearby. You can feel you can feel it in your soul that something's just off.
Okay, but I don't know exactly what it is.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I don't know. I mean, I'm in the sewer, so it's like, yes, there's probably there's mind flayers and there's demons. I'm gonna assume things aren't great. Can I follow where the feeling gets worse?
Okay, I mean, you could, if you wanted to, you could go into the sewers despite the warnings of the House of Right agent. So, I'm just confirming you're doing exactly that, right?
Did they say it more for themselves or because they're legitimately concerned? You know, that the whole thing of, are they concerned about their own investigation being interrupted, or are they concerned about...
In this case, it's your safety. In this case, it's your safety
Oh,
because
it is.
they reference that a House of Right agent has gone missing under
Well-
suspicious circumstances. So they've sent some House of Divine paladins to go explore the sewers just to see if they missed anything. And the House of Divine Paladins had done a sweep sometime after the rest of the party had cleared out some of the flayers.
Okay.
Yep, but he did give you the warning. If you want to just push past anyways, he's probably not going to stop you.
How good are these operatives? I mean, it's an operative, so I'm guessing they're pretty good.
I mean, they do have varying ranks, though you're not savvy with what the internal ranking of the House of Right is.
And I bet they're not going to tell me, right? Like what rank he was?
Probably not. That's probably classified.
That's what I was thinking. Okay. Can I send my buddy in?
You're familiar?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you can.
I'd like to do that. Let's use him for his purpose here. My little scarab beetle is going to act as my little buzzing drone, and I want him to go in, and I can see through him. Can I use my senses through him? I don't know if I can.
I believe you can just see through them, and I
Yeah.
think there's a range on how far it is.
Yes. So find familiar is it's while your familiar is within 100 feet of you, you can telepathic. Yeah, basically it's 100 feet. So
See and hear. Okay.
Yep.
100 feet, see and hear. Okay.
yeah, so I can't have any of my blind sight or anything like that. Okay. Well, I want to see if I can go down. Let's see if required to, I'll have to push past him, but I'm hoping that the range between me and the guy is enough. So depending on where it is, if the first 100 feet doesn't yield anything, then I'll have to go down to the next level. So basically, I'm kind of I'm 100 feet above where my drone is. So I'm going to keep that spacing all the way down. So
Yeah,
even if that means I go down in there, then I guess I ignore their warning because I have to.
Okay. Since the sewer is directly beneath the city of Veer, you could be standing on the street and just be walking in tandem with your familiar.
That works with me.
Yeah, it's up to you unless you want to go in there yourself.
No. If I can reach the bottom, the bottom of the sewer from the street level, I'll 100% do that. If they lost an operative, I cannot. I'm not used to cities, so if they didn't make it, I probably can't make it. So
Okay. So you do maintain connection for the most part. There are moments where you do lose connection here and there where the distance is greater than 100, but for the most part you do maintain your connection.
are the disconnects random or associated with environmental, or are they with that bad feeling I had?
Environmental. You basically, when you look through your familiar's eyes, you can basically see that, oh, we're going down a really deep descent, so we're probably going to lose connection for a little bit.
Okay, gotcha.
On top of that, you do have a unique circumstance. You could theoretically soul link with your familiar, which would give
Oh,
you
I
greater
can?
access to your abilities. I would allow that, yes.
It's a will. Okay, that changes things.
Because technically, it does
Technically.
it does have a type. Is celestial fae / fiend, and it's kind
You're
of a
right.
base. It's
Mm.
something. So I will allow you to connect with it, and in that case, you can use your senses through him.
It's like piloting a drone. It's like my ghost piloting a drone. Okay, I will do that, but I'm gonna keep myself very on alert because I'm stretching myself really far out here.
Okay.
And it's kind of like a Gmod prop for the laser going through a building and glitching
Mhm.
through. They could possibly see that depending on who's down there. And considering there's demons, I think they might know. So I'm gonna keep that soul ejection on like my hand on the button.
Okay. Yep. And you do know at least the bare basics of demonology. Soulless are capable of seeing souls and eating souls. They're known for eating souls. So
Oh,
they're
that's
probably
not
able
good.
to see.
Yeah, that would be the case. Okay, that's fine by me. Let's go. Let's do this.
All right.
Okay, I'm sitting there, crouched down on top of my drone as it putters along. Oh, look at that! A dead rat. Oh, look, the crackhead from. Hey, I met you. I'll get you later, bud. I'll see you later. Don't do any more of that. I can't hear me. All right. So, besides
So-
that,
You notice a very thin wisp. It looks like it's not in the material world, it's in the ethereal plane. And it looks like a very it kind of looks like a chain, but it's very you can say it looks like it's disintegrated a little bit, like it's multiple strands of the chain are frayed out, but you can still recognize it as something that looks like a chain.
okay. Where is this chain located? Like, what type of
This
room is it
chain.
in?
This chain it's in just one of the hallways, and it looks like it's just kind of floating in the air, suspended over the waist in the middle.
Oh, okay, just floating there.
Yep, and it looks like you can easily see that it seems to extend very, very far out in both directions.
Okay, so it's far out in both directions, but it's not just like connected at both ends and just I can't see the ends of it. It's floating.
You can't see the ends of it, and it's floating.
Okay.
It does look, yeah. At the very least, it does look like it is curving and turning, as well.
It's moving?
I mean, you could say it's
Is-
kind of drifting a little bit, not consciously moving.
Drifting.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, I have a really bad feeling about this. You know, this would have been a great time to have heat metal. I don't have it. Why did I not take it? You know
Because we're
what?
fighting a wolf.
Yeah.
Sorry, but you did ask.
No, it is true. It was. Yeah. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna get the beetle right up next to it. I'm gonna use Word of Radiance.
Okay. I mean, it's a beetle. It probably has the ability to fly. Even though beetles are very imprecise, I'm just gonna say can fly very precisely. And what was the spell again?
I want to use Word of Radiance. I want to be at the very edge of that 5 feet radius. So it's basically a 5 foot radius surrounding the point of like surrounding it. So I can cast spells through my familiar. So I am going to do a cantrip here. So you, I guess I'll do it here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the range of touch. Wait. Find familiar. Wait. Can you cast any spell through it? Or
Yeah, I'm pretty
did
sure,
look-
right?
I looked at the very end and it says you can
Familiars,
cast
I
a spell
think
with the range
it's
of
a
touch.
spell only.
Yeah.
You're familiar if it had the you cast a spell with. Oh, a range of touch. Oh. Oh, well, that means I can't do any AoE. Oh, well, that sucks. Huh. I'm not too familiar with that. Okay, well, I don't have anything else, so. I guess we ignore it. Go a different way. I'm not going to worry about it. It's a beetle. I don't have enough to deal with this. I'm not going to go anywhere near that. I'm just going to follow, if I can, follow where one of the ends is going, but I'm going to follow it from... There's got to be smaller pipes in places that the beetle can go in that aren't just like the main tunnels. But if it's too unwieldy to go through those effectively, then I'll just either have it crawl through tunnels, or I'll have it do parallel lines to the main tunnel with the giant chain in it. I'd just rather not have it next to that chain at all.
Parallel tunnels with the chain. Okay. Alright.
Yeah.
You might as well make a survival check for me.
Is this navigation?
A
Or
little bit of navigation, yeah, finding your way around, trying to track your target while not exactly being in the same hallway as it.
that's a 19.
You do make some compromises here and there to maintain visual contact with the chain. And you're going to follow it to one of its two ends. Okay.
I'll specify the right end, by the way. So I'll follow the right-hand side from where I was oriented. I don't know if that matters, but
Okay.
I thought I'd mention it.
The right-hand side. Alright. You do notice... Your beetle does notice, a bright light at the end of the tunnel. It definitely looks like people, and they look like they're heavily armed and in full suits of armor. Just looking at their crests, it's obvious that they are from the House of Divine. Also, my playlist stopped. I'm just gonna play the Veer soundtrack. I don't know why it's been stopping so much lately. Hold on.
That's interesting. So they're ahead of me. Huh.
Well,
Or I
the
guess
house-
when you have more... I guess when you
The
have more
House
people.
of Right did mention that they sent some House of Divine people to go look at the situation.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I figured that they'd be too caught up in bureaucracy or something for them to be down here. Okay. I'm just gonna avoid them. I don't feel like it's necessary to keep tabs on them. They can handle themselves, I assume. And if they can't, there's no freaking way I'm gonna be able to handle whatever they can handle, so.
Okay. Well,
Though, if they are looking at something or like discussing something, maybe just take a pause for a second, just to
Okay.
hear about what's happening.
Okay. So they do talk amongst each other. They do talk amongst each other, and they say, well, I think that was a little bit too close for comfort. Any closer and that guy might have discovered what was really going on down here. Yeah. How long do we have to keep this charade up? Well, one more day, I'd say. It sounds like something big is gonna be happening tomorrow. Yeah? So we can finally move on to step 2 of the plan. That's nice. And better yet, I don't think those House of Right idiots even suspect what's going on. do with that information as you will. After that, it's followed by just some general small talk about very little things.
Do I know what level these guys are at?
You... Not at a glance. Well, I guess you could, make a, make a
Wanna know how much-
perception check.
I want to know how much health they have. Just give me a second. Oh, it's an 8.
I mean, it's not that easy to tell. It looks like a standard uniform from what you can tell, and they're wearing a full suit of armor. There does...
Oh, crap.
And any marks of rank or any insignias you don't immediately recognize or understand.
Where are they standing right now?
Based on the distance from where you last left, from the entrance that you had bypassed, they would be probably about, say, 600 feet away from the entrance.
What are they standing on? Like, material. Where are they in the
They're-
tunnels here? The sewer, right? So there's like the center portion that's like the muck, and then you have, I'm guessing, sidewalks on
Yep.
both sides? Okay,
They're on
so
one
are they...
sidewalks.
It's a shame I don't have gust. I just push them all off into the liquid, but and they die of cancer, whatever's in this water. That's being too mean. I need to figure out what the heck. Yeah, sorry, that came out of me for no reason. We should probably determine. Do I know where they're coming? Wait. So they're just messing around down here. They're not even caring. Where are they even heading off to? Like, are they just sitting around, or are they actually going someplace?
They are walking around. If you wanted to tail them for a little bit, you might be able to discover more, because it looks like it's not aimless wandering.
Yeah, we're gonna tail them. The one good lead I have so far, besides a giant floating chain, so we don't really have a lot of options here.
They're going the same direction as one of the chain ends. They stop
Of
at
course they are.
They stop at a crossroad junction, and one of them pulls out what seems to be some sort of ink and starts applying it on one of the walls. After a little bit of time, it disappears.
Them, the wall, or the ink?
So the ink disappears. They write ink on one of the walls, and it disappears. Do you want to move your beetle up close, or not? Because you might be able to see their writing if you bring the beetle up close.
How
So
small is their writing?
It does look like they're writing a bit small, probably maybe the size, like each of the letters is probably the size of maybe a penny. And it doesn't look like they're writing in common.
Well, of course it wouldn't be. I bet it's Abyssal. Who wants to guess? 500 on Abyssal here. Beetle will go forward. My goodness, I need to at least know what the heck this is again. I'm gonna guess that this is. By the way, is this where the chain is ending too? Because you said they were following
No.
it. Where does the chain?
It continues.
Oh, it keeps going.
Yep.
Oh, past the door. Sorry, the wall. Should be more clear here. The wall. Definitely not a door, but the beetle's gonna come in, and I want to see what that is. How close does the beetle have to be for me to see this?
Good question. Good question. You probably do need to be fairly close, maybe about 20 feet from
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna cast Fog Cloud, and I'm gonna make it seem like. Is there pipes around here?
Yeah, there should be pipes. Is Fog Cloud a touch spell? Or...
Oh wait, no, sorry, it's not. It's not. Oh wait, but I'm in my. No, I'm not in my soul form.
This is an old design where the sewers are directly connected to above ground, so I'm going to have you roll a 1d20 to see if you're lucky enough to have an actual sewer grate close enough to the scene to where you could cast it.
don't think it's touch. So what I'll be doing, you're right, it's not touch because it's an area within 20 feet. So what I'll try to do
So,
is open.
You
I'll try to
can-
use the
yeah.
beat. I'll try to use the beetle like nudge open like a valve or something to get this to happen. So if I still want to roll a 20, I can do that.
You can still roll
Okay.
a 1d20 to see if you're fortunate enough to be right next to a grate, and you could just cast it from where you're standing on the street down there. And you are fortunate enough to be right next to a grate. Your beetle can clearly see a grate that seems to have just a little bit of sunlight streaming through. It's
So
not
what I
much.
want to, so what I want to do is I want to cast it that it looks like it's coming out of that, and then I want the beetle to go, because the ink is going to stay until they finish it. So basically, it's going to blind the beetle. I'm going to do this very carefully. I'm going to make it so that the smoke is, because they have to stand a certain distance away from the wall, because they're not going to hug it. They're going to outstretch their hand. So the distance between the wall and where their elbow is, which is like a foot maybe, I'm going to cast the square so that it's just at the end of that. So that they have to go and they have to like lean forward, and before they lean forward, the beetle's going to swoop down, do the camera pan, see, and then go.
Swoop down. Okay, so your
Yeah.
beetle's going to be flying.
Yeah, I'm going to try to do this. Yep. Okay, here we go.
All right.
What do you need me to roll?
Let's see. It would probably be your beetle stats.
What is
If-
my beetle stats?
That's a good question.
What the
'Cause it doesn't
beetle
have a
and
standard. It
Oh
doesn't have
my
a standard stat. So in this case,
What's
I'm
that?
just going to use your own stats, and in this case, we'll do. Let's make a, I guess, acrobatics check.
acrobat? Okay, so for the flying.
Yeah.
Can I do? No, animal handling and acrobatics is the same. Oh, okay. Well, acrobatics. Oh, that's 12. That's not good.
Most beetles flying is pretty loud, but fortunately there
Yeah.
is running water down here. They don't seem to notice anything as your beetle flies by. What they seem to
Okay.
be writing on the wall is it seems to be related to a summoning spell from what you could briefly glean. It's not
Whoa.
It's not summoning anything big. It seems to be summoning some sort of lesser fiend, and it seems to be part of a much bigger network. And this is one of a certain amount of marks they need to put down here.
Whoa. Okay, that's a lot of information. Wait, so this is a lesser summoning one,
Yes.
but they're not actually summoning it. So it's like they're marking a point, but they don't. Is it that there's more required to it for it to summon something? Like, is it more than just the writing, or is it just the writing that can do the summoning, or would I not know that?
Just by reading the writing, it basically says something like step 3. This is the third sigil being written. So it's probably part of a bigger spell.
It's magical ink, but it's still ink. It's got to stay there though. Okay, I'm gonna let them
Yep.
leave.
Okay.
They're coughing and hacking, and being like, "What the frick is all this stuff?" in my, and then it just boop blows away with everything else.
Yep.
That's one of my spell slots gone. Because I use fog cloud. All right.
All right. Do you mind if we put this on hold, and then I'll move the camera over to the other parties?
Absolutely.
All right. So at this point, the rest of the party, you all do get informed by the plague doctor about the details of what Winston Berg had seen. That he had seen part of a demon, the demon couldn't put itself fully through the portal. Only one of its arms and its head. And gave Winston Berg 24 hours to head to the, quote, usual place in the sewers. He does mark exactly where that place is, and you have access to that location through the Plague Doctor. Whether or not you guys are together, or whether or not you guys want to have been gathered together or are individual is completely up to you, but the Plague Doctor would seek all of you out and give you all that information. And if you wanted to coordinate...
We're probably hanging around together, since we had nothing else to be doing, unless it's the middle of the night.
No, it should still be somewhere around afternoon.
Okay. So, maybe we should check this area out.
The Plague Doctor also mentions that a House of Right agent did go missing under suspicious circumstances in the sewers, so be sure to proceed with caution.
Yes. That probably is a good idea.
Zorg wants to charge in.
Well, I think we go in cautiously. When we find something, if Zorg wants to charge, he can charge. But I think we need to find something instead of just charging in and alerting everything in sight we're there. Doesn't that sound more logical?
More people to fight if I charge.
I know, Zorg's not logical.
What about you, Pyre? How do you feel about this?
Confused? To put it simply, Pyre's looking at this and he's going, okay, like, why is this my problem? The demon, yeah, demons are bad. But where's the compensation?
Zorg
Oh,
wants to
well,
kill the demon.
he did mention, in the previous session, he did mention the lightning shard as well, which you guys are supposed to be gathering.
All right, so that information is included as well with this message.
With the previous message, so you would know from the previous message that that's pretty much the prize.
Okay. Yeah, I'll be on board.
Is it still a trap, or is it guaranteed shard?
I mean, he's told you that to use your judgment. This is either an opportunity of a lifetime or it's a trap. One of the two.
So definitely a trap.
Zorg likes either, so.
I got a question. Are we actually going to have the resource of Ash's character, played by the DM,
Yes.
doing
Yes.
his rogue stuff?
Yes.
Because I think that's essential to sneaking in there.
The only sneak.
Okay. Well, I think we go in and take a look around carefully. If it's a trap, we maybe reverse the trap. Or we just avoid the whole thing. One or the other.
Okay.
And I look at Monica and say, you want to hang around town? Or you want to come along?
Okay. Monica says, "Ooh, I think there's a lot to learn if I went down there and looked at all the demonic stuff again. There's probably a lot of things I missed the first time."
Yeah, like getting killed. Dear.
Oh, that would never happen. You know that would never happen.
We hope not.
And besides, if we were in trouble, I could just dimension door us out.
Well, maybe. Okay. If you want to come, but stay close. Don't go wandering off. Yeah.
All right, don't worry. Don't worry. And as per usual, she sticks right behind you.
If I stop short, she bumps into me.
Yes, basically, yes.
Okay, well, I guess we'll scout the area, follow Ash's lead down there, and try to stay as silent as we can as we go.
Alright. He does have the goggles of night, so do you guys want to travel without a light or with a light?
No light.
I see in the dark, so I'm
I got-
okay.
Dark vision too.
And,
I'm going to feel like I'm going to fail as a dragon when I check my character sheet. Pyre. Pyre, you're a literal son of the god of fire. Yeah, I do have dark vision. Okay, I'm good.
Alright, easy.
Okay.
yeah, we're gonna
Scared
go
me for a
quietly
moment
in the
there.
dark.
Definitely dark.
Alright. Ash puts on his goggles of night. And, how do you want to do this? Do you want Ash to be very close to the party, or do you want him to be a forward scout? Being something like 60 feet
I
ahead.
think being a little bit forward, maybe
How much
a
vision does he
movement
have?
forward, like
30.
30 feet ahead
Okay.
or that kind of thing. I don't want him to get too far ahead because we don't want him to get into trouble where we can't bail his ass out.
Okay. 30 feet ahead. What were you saying, Zorg?
How far can he see? 30 feet?
I believe
The
60 feet
goggles?
with the goggles of night.
Okay.
Well, maybe the 60 then. Because the rest of us have got the 60 foot.
Yeah.
That way we can keep an eye on him from a distance. Yeah, no more than 60, 30 to 60 foot range from us. Probably vary depending on things.
No more than 60 feet. Alright, alright. So he's going to be out around 60 feet, probably 50 to 60 feet. Just in case you see him get grabbed or something.
Yep.
Alright. So
Maybe
if
we
you...
stop to eat things.
Yes. Alright. If there's any preparations you want to make before heading in, you can do so now. If not, then I will assume you will go to the nearest sewer entrance and make your way to the location.
Anybody want to get anything done? Let me check a couple of things. My inventory. Make sure we got a few healing potions around. I've got some. Does everybody else have healing potions?
I believe you guys still have all the leftover ones, yeah.
I have healing potions, but I am currently tailing definitely
well-
not cultists.
I'm not. We don't know where the hell you are.
I do not have healing potions.
Have
How much do they cost?
Well, let's go back to the Church of Sarkava and see if we can score some.
Pyre shakes his head and he says, "There's no point. I have some basic healing that will have to do for now. It seems that we're consistently getting hurt. We'll just do it when this adventure is over."
Alright. Alright. Okay. And if there's nothing else, we will start the marching. What's the marching order? Ash is obviously at the front, but who's behind?
Zorg's gonna take the back.
Zorg at the rear, okay?
I would think that Monica and I will be right in front of Zorg, and probably Pyre right behind, right ahead of us, and Ash scouting.
Okay. Is that fine by you, Pyre?
Yeah, that's fine by me.
Okay. Stefan, and then Pyre. I'm just gonna post that in this chat as well as in general. Or is Monica and Stefan reversed? Just to clarify, or is
We'll
that
be
the right?
together, whatever.
Okay.
We're there.
Okay.
They
Alright.
probably switch intermediately just to spite the DM.
Okay.
No, it's probably a pretty good lineup.
Zorg will protect us from any danger from behind.
Now, are you guys intending to move stealthily and quietly? Because that will be a slower movement.
That
Uh,
would probably be our plan, is to go stealthily.
I assume I'm back at full HP too.
Not at the moment, no. You haven't
Oh.
actually rested. This is still the same
Okay.
day, and tomorrow is going to be the day you're doing early scouting.
Zorg wants to drink a healing potion right now if he can.
Yep, you can. It's not going to cost you anything right now.
Okay. What's the roll for a healing potion?
Depends which one. Is it
1d4?
basic?
Basic.
2d4 plus 2, I think.
Two D4 plus 2?
Yeah, I think so.
I got an 8.
Alright. Everyone make a stealth roll. If you're wearing heavy armor, that's normally a disadvantage.
Advantage or normal?
For you, normal, I think. You're not wearing any armor.
Oh, I actually had guidance.
Just 14. Alright. Pyre, are you stealthing, or are you just gonna be walking?
I'm walking. I'm wearing plate mail. Stealth is not my forte.
Alright. You see
So,
everyone else moving
If anything,
slowly and
I'm
quietly.
assisting. Yeah, I am proud and in charge. I am just walking. There
Yep.
are shadows about me. I am the dragon to be feared.
Alright, alright. We'll count that as, We'll count that as an auto-fail.
Yeah, that's fair. If you
all
want
right,
to do something, you can set a DC versus their passive perception. But like the DC is
Yep.
going to be like 8, so like
Yeah,
Not to
yeah.
be much better.
As long as they're not blind as a bat, they'll see you.
yeah. The big thing is distance. You get -2 for every range increment.
Yep, it is
So,
a
like-
far distance, and Ash is scouting pretty far ahead.
Yeah, it's just as long as I'm not. Sorry, phone. As long as I'm not. As long
Like
as I
this?
am not seen the moment I walk into the sewers, around corners and through walls, I'm good.
Okay. Alright.
I need to answer this call. Sorry.
Alright. Location. Accept.
Sorry about that, guys. I got called twice by the same person.
Okay. Alright. I just need to double check. If there's anything you guys would like to be on the lookout for, or anything you would like to do while you're marching, you can feel free to suggest it. Ash is going to be just looking out for enemies, so I'm going to make a perception roll for him.
So I'm gonna keep it constant.
Your mic is cracking.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Zor's gonna keep a look behind him.
Okay. You make a perception roll as well. You're far enough away that I'll allow 2 perception rolls. Alright. Judging by your locations. Okay. Ash relays back that he does see a light in the distance. It seems that you're not alone down here. Whether or not they're friendly or hostile is another question entirely.
we're not on map. We're not on a map yet, are we?
No.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
Did Zorg say anything?
You do pass through some crosswalks, but you don't see anyone tailing behind you, and it doesn't look like there was anything special at any of those crosswalks. Stefan and Pyre, is there anything you guys want to do or look out for while you're marching?
I am memorizing pathways. Left, right, right, left.
I keep looking.
I am
into
the reason we find our way home. Go ahead.
Okay.
I keep looking into the sewage area to make sure there's not some brain in there again.
Okay. Are you just looking for creatures, or are you also looking to see if there's an illusion on the surface again?
I was just looking to, the last time we went through here, there was some brain thing in the sewer, and
Yep.
I'm kind of looking for it. Make sure it's not another one.
Okay. I mean, it's
That's
just
basically-
human waste from the looks of it.
Yeah. I figured it wouldn't be, or I figured it wouldn't be, but Stefan's going to keep looking for brains.
All right.
It was a sneaky thing last time that was going on, and we're trying to be quiet and going to keep an eye out for it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I don't know what Monica's looking to look for, but
Monica uses her foot to knock some pebbles into the water to see if there's an illusion on the surface of the water like last time. But from the looks of it, there doesn't seem to be. And Pyre, make a survival check. Let's see how good you are with directions.
Could I argue that this is a intelligence check or a history check?
Sure, I'll allow it.
Okay. History specifically because I can only retrace our steps. That is a 14.
This is the second time you've been down here, and unfortunately the smell is distracting you a little bit. At the very least, you think you've got a vague idea. You think that as long as you don't get distracted, or say get dragged around in a prolonged battle, you could probably retrace your steps based on memory.
We're going to die, aren't we?
Thing is, I don't remember if Ash had a map. He might have had a map of the underground from the previous party. I want to say he probably does. Okay. Alright. Let's jump back to Quelkek. Alright, Quelkek. So the paladins have just left. Your beetle is still around the area where they wrote their magical ink, which has now disappeared. What would you like to do?
Is the ink still there?
It's beginning to fade. It's probably going to fade within the next few minutes.
I'm gonna let it fade, but I want to know: is it still there? There's a difference between is it there visually or if it's still there. Like if it's a rune, it's got to be putting some sort of magic out, so I should be able to tell, presumably, that it's still there.
Let's see. Since your senses are shared with the beetle and you can project your senses through it, I'd probably say you do feel some sort of magical energy.
Since this is hellish, I want to so badly. I want a word of radiance this. I want the word of radiance to be right next to this writing. If it's infernal in nature, that's gonna be like that's gotta be like spilling water over this thing, like holy water, just right away. Wait a second, I actually have holy water. Nah, we'll do it later.
Word of Radiance is renewable.
Yes, I know. It's
Think
a
of the
cantrip.
environment, kids.
Well, it's holy water. It's fine. It'll just I don't know. Wait, what happens when holy water
cold.
reaches Well, what happens when holy water reacts with waste? I don't know, but that's an
Holy
interesting. I don't know. Does it cleanse it? I have no idea. That's an argument for another day. Does it work? How I think it is.
Which one, the holy water or word of radiance?
Word of Radiance. I don't have holy water on the beetle. He didn't carry it down.
I probably have to say you likely don't have any prior experience with other demons, so this is probably just going to be a trial and error since you don't have formal cleric education.
Oh, so I actually have to specify what the Word of Radiance does? Oh, that's interesting.
No, Word of Radiance, it's kind of like you do something, so we know Word of Radiance is like this little AoE, but you won't exactly know how it's going to interact with this particular marking until you actually do it.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I have no idea, but I gotta try something, because wouldn't it just be great to just have this beetle follow them around with Word of Radiance and just erase all the things that they left behind? I'd love that. That'd be great. So I'm just interested to see if I can actually make it happen.
It doesn't specifically say that it's touch, but it does specify it's AoE. I think I would still allow it to be cast on the familiar.
Yeah, so basically it's just centered on the familiar. If it has like a lower range because it is the familiar, not myself, that's fine. I'll just get the beetle close enough. Regardless.
Yeah, I mean, in the case of this one, I'd probably say it would need to be right on top of it instead of having a 5-foot AoE around it.
Okay, that's fine.
So yeah, are you going to have your beetle climb right on top of the words?
Yeah, it's fine. It's not, but
Okay.
you know what? We gotta try something. What am I
Okay.
gonna do? What am I gonna do? Go down there and myself and try to do this? Let's put some distance between me and whatever the heck this thing is.
All right.
Hopefully.
Okay. So you cast Word of Radiance over the marking, well, over where they had written their little marks.
Yep.
Actually, why don't you make a spellcasting roll for me?
Oh, good. Wait, what? Spellcasting. Oh.
Yeah, it's just 1d20 plus your spellcasting ability modifier, which is probably.
Oh, so
Wisdom.
this is my. Hang on, let me go to my bio. This is Life Domain Cleric. Yeah, it uses my wisdom, so it's going to be a.
Wisdom check, basically. Plus proficiency, I'd imagine.
I don't know if I get proficiencies. Oh, proficiency, but oh yeah, so it's yeah, because it's 3 plus 3. That's what I had. Okay, so it's a plus 6. Okay, so I'll roll this. So it's a 1d20 plus 6.
All right, you cast Word of Radiance. You cast Word of Radiance, and the runes immediately light up and start glowing. And then you see fragments of. Actually, I could probably just show you a thing. Hold on. You see what looks like a demon kind of pop out of the rune. It's not it doesn't look like it's fully complete. You see a part of the demon pop out of the rune, and it looks like it's immediately beginning to crumble to dust right away. It pops out with a sword, and it looks there, and it looks something like this. It looks like a scaled beast of some sort with a chipped sword, but it immediately starts crumbling. You hear some noise off in the distance of another and it sounds like it's probably a similar effect to what just happened here, and the demon tries to get up. It falls to the ground. Its legs don't spawn in. Using its two arms, it tries to push itself up, and then its right arm crumbles to dust, and then the rest of its body just slams to the ground and crumbles to dust and dissipates. Off in the distance, you do hear, "Huh? You hear something?"
We gotta scram, kid. We gotta scram. We gotta go. We gotta go. We gotta leave. I didn't think that was gonna happen. I thought it was just gonna poop. Gone. It's dead. Nope. Okay. Cool.
You hear something? Yeah, I think... Did the spell pop off prematurely? Yeah, you didn't keep any holy artifacts over there, did you? No? Huh. That's strange. And they start heading back.
We're leaving. We're going.
Yep.
I mean, I'm gonna stick around because I want to see if they rewrite. I'm just gonna come back to the same thing. I'm sorry, and this is what I'm gonna do. If you want to move on to the other guys, if I can just keep doing this, that would be great. I don't need to sleep. They do. I win this. I win this fight here. All right, that went way better than expected. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy. I could be marked for life because now he's pissed at me. But you know what? It's fine. Anyway, continue on with your explanation. I'm sorry.
All right. Yeah, they do walk back. Like they take a look around. They don't the dust of the demon that just disappeared, like it's completely gone. You don't see any trace of it left on the ground. And they come back. They look around. They look around. They don't seem to see anything. They run their hands across the wall, and they just say, maybe it was our imagination. Nothing seems different over here, and the markings should be still on the wall. Whatever. Let's keep going. And, alright, the rest of the party. Ash tells you that the light that he sees in the distance suddenly is suddenly traveling in, like, they were traveling closer to you, and then they suddenly started traveling the opposite direction. And he asks where you guys want to go, if you want to avoid this light or if you want to go closer to it. It seems like there's other people down here, though all we're doing is scouting the location.
Zorg says charge.
Well, who's in the lead, Zorg? Are you in the lead?
Well, Ash is in the lead.
Is Pyre in the
I
lead?
think we continue to go stealthily till we see what we're up against.
Okay.
This is a DM NPC at this point, Ash.
Oi.
So yeah, Pyre is continuing the stealth.
Yeah, stealthily. Pyre's rolling 8s and I'm rolling 10s.
All right. Ash. Okay, I'm going to interpret that as you guys want to go towards the light. So, Ash starts slowly moving towards the light. Let's see. There is a crossroads if any of you wanted to duck behind a corner while Ash and the other frontliners move forwards.
Yeah. Probably look to the side there and find a spot to duck into and look.
You're a little quiet, Stefan.
Pardon?
Yeah, you were
probably
a little...
will.
Okay.
Probably will slide off to the side, let them by.
All right.
I mean, can't slow Zorg down. He's going to get up there.
Alright. So, Stefan is going off to the side. If anyone else
Well,
wants to go off to the
We'll
side, you
stop to
can.
the side and let them go ahead by a few paces and then follow.
Alright.
Stealthily
Not gonna
directly
really
approach
hide
in the
off
open.
along their way. Let them get about 10 feet ahead.
Okay.
and
Alright.
Follow.
Alright. Ash stealthily approaches. Based on, when he gets close enough, the light starts coming back around, and Ash tells you, "They look like they're part of a noble house. Probably the House of Divine or something like that. At least I think that's what the symbol is.
Ah.
They look like they're paladins or clerics of some sort."
Hmm.
So what do you guys want to do?
Is this the area we're supposed to come to for sure?
So Ash will look at the map. Not exactly, no. It is going away from the most direct route to the area you wanted to go to.
Well, let's go to where we're going and avoid these guys. They
Okay.
may be down here searching for the same thing we're searching for and just don't know where to go.
Alright. Unless there's any disagreement, Ash gives the thumbs up, and he starts heading off to the most direct path. Alright. Qualkick, how far is your dark vision?
I have 60 feet.
Okay, well, you can't see the rest of the party. I guess, what's your perception?
My passive perception is a 13.
Stomp, 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 stomp.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. But if I'm allowing Quellkick to hear it, then it's possible that the Paladins would also hear it as well.
I'm not saying they wouldn't.
So I'm hearing this through my little drone, right?
Yep, you have,
Okay,
with your Soul
gotcha.
Link, you do have greater senses through them.
How are they able to find out where I was? Or is it... Oh, they're following the chain, right?
You're talking about the party?
Yeah.
The party.
If they're coming-
So the party was told by the Plague Doctor that Winston Berg would be meeting up at a specific location in the sewers, and they're just going to that location just to scout it out ahead of time. They don't see a
it's-
chain. They don't see. Well, they do see the Paladins, but that's it.
Okay, so it's like, basically, I was going one direction, they're kind of going across my direction perpendicular? Because I'm just trying to figure out how they're entering in compared to where I did. Because I want to know whether or not there's a connection between where they're going and where I'm going. Like, do the two lines meet someplace? Because if I can see them, that means that they're heading towards where I am, and that's where all the shenanigans are going on. So
how it's going down right now is you entered from one location and the party entered from another location, but you did travel far enough to where you two did meet. If you follow the Paladins, then you're probably going to eventually bump into the party. If you don't, you're probably not going to meet the party.
well, I'm following the paladins and messing with them. So yes, I will meet the party then. Okay, I just want to know the train of events that led them to meeting. So
And they just see the torch off in the distance. They're still probably around 200 feet off. Like the tunnel, like there's a very, very long tunnel. It looks like the main drainage, little canal. And they can see just a light way off in the distance. But they are heading away from them. There's a chance you guys might not meet, but we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Did we get a feeling for how many of these were in this party that's ahead of us with the lights on?
At least three. At least three that you can clearly see within the light.
Minimum of 3 of them trooping around down here, lights ablazing. Well, maybe they can attract the monsters first. If there are some.
Okay. Alright. So the party is going to be heading away from those House of Divine Paladins. Let's see. Ash, you guys do travel for about 10 minutes without... Well, you do travel for about 10 minutes without very many... Without much incident. You do notice the light still off in the distance, which is more than likely the House of Divine Paladins walking through the sewers. But for most of you who are trying to avoid those paladins, you don't seem to attract each other's attentions. Except, well, I did roll that, so I suppose the House of Divine Paladins do not notice this, but Quelkek, you do hear, so you hear the House of Divine Paladins walking around in their full suits of armor, but you also hear some metal clanking in the distance.
That's unique. Metal clanking. Usually you can tell, or is it too distorted for me to tell what it's coming from? You know, you have like an anvil sound, so it's a very like
It's
solid
definitely
sound.
it's definitely from like a metal boot or greaves from a piece of armor. You can hear. it
Oh,
off
so
in the
there's a
distance.
pattern to it. There's a pattern to it.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It's a distinctive sound, though you can't quite hear it like 100% clearly due to the sound of rushing water.
Do I mess with the paladins, or do I check out mysterious figure number 2? They're going to hear the party, so they're going to be more careful about what they're doing. So hopefully that will stop them from putting any marks anywhere. So I'm going to go see about that walking. I want to go see who that is.
Well,
I
the
don't
thing is, they don't seem to notice the party.
Oh, they don't?
Nope, they
Oh.
hasn't commented on anything. They haven't like looked around, concerns like
Have they at all discussed about putting more marks down? At all? Like,
no, they have not, but
Hmm.
they do seem to be heading to a particular location again.
that's too far away anyways. I'm not gonna walk. Alright, we'll just keep tailing these guys. Until it would be such a time that the walking would be close enough. I don't know. We'll say, I don't know how fast the beetle can, but whatever distance the beetle can sprint. If it gets that close, then we worry about it, because now it's like, okay, that's a bit too close for comfort. So, but right now we'll keep shadowing and messing with these paladins.
Okay. They do eventually stop again and start writing stuff on the wall. And what's your... No, wait, your passive perception is 13.
Yep,
Rinse and
rinse and
repeat.
repeat. Rinse and repeat until they go home. They gotta eat sometime. Unless they're demons in disguise. I'm not gonna worry about that right now.
Well, I mean, they didn't see anything suspicious, and it looks like they didn't see the markings getting erased from your stunt earlier. So maybe they can't. Who knows? Who knows?
Yep.
Okay. Rest of the party. So you guys are traveling and you're trying to stay as far away from these paladin, well, trying to stay out of these guys' way in case there are any monsters or creatures down here for them to deal with. You do notice that they do stop and start doing something to one of the walls. But unless anyone wants to specifically stop and see what they're doing, Ash is likely just going to continue leading the way to the meeting location.
They're
Suspicious.
probably marking ways to get back to where they came from.
Yeah, and Ash says, "That's pretty. You know, if you were going to travel down to sewers, you should probably get a map like I did."
Yeah. Makes it a lot easier, doesn't it?
Oh well, who can understand what goes on in the heads of these paladins? Okay. You guys are approaching the meeting location. The meeting location is an enclosed room. It's the drainage for a local fountain, basically. So the water is mostly clear. But you have not entered the room yet, but you are approaching. If you guys are worried there might be something waiting for you behind that door, you can prepare yourselves right now. But this is an enclosed room that has two doors. Okay, how are you going to approach it? Who do you want opening the door, and if you want to change your marching order, you can do so now as well.
We think this is the spot. I think the tankage moves up front. Right, Zorg?
Yes.
And let Ash use a stealthy opening of the door to see if we can see before we go in.
I love the usage of Ash now as like the chicken on the rope that you push through the door and see if it dies on the other side.
That's
Like-
what we're doing. We're stealthily opening the door to see if we can see anything. If we don't stealthily open the door, then we've got the tank right next to him.
We got a backup plan. Alright. This
Yeah.
fun with you, Pyre?
Yeah, no problems.
Alright. Actually, now that I think about it, he's still stomping around.
Made it as clear as I could.
Closed door.
My
I'd
character can roll stealth. I just assure you
say...
that only gives the risk of rolling a nat 1 instead of an auto failure. There is no success here.
Yep, because it is at disadvantage. So Ash opens the door just a little bit. You're pretty much like I imagine that Ash is probably down below on the ground and on the ground
peeking.
probably crouching, like peeking, and then Zorg is overhead with his battle axe ready.
Standing right behind him with his battle axe. Yeah,
So
that's
it's
kind of
always-
the picture in my mind too.
You peer into the room. Since both of you have dark vision, you do see what looks like Anton, who is Anton the Beggar, your contact with Darren Stormright, basically, and essentially his right-hand man. He he seems to be looking over the place top to bottom. He seems to have a bucket of little paint from the looks of it. And he seems to be looking around for something on the walls. Since Ash isn't here, Zorg, I will let you approach this however you want.
And Anton was the one who was talking with, what is his name? The person who's supposed to have the shard that had the demon?
You don't know that. You don't know that Anton
Okay.
was the one speaking with Winston Berg. Only Quelkek knows that. Well, and
Okay.
technically Stefan, but only Stefan. It depends on whether or not Stefan gives that information to you guys, because I know that Quelkek entrusted it to Stefan because he doesn't trust you too.
Well, Zor's gonna walk right in and say, Anton!
Hey, buddy! Oh, how's it going? That's Ash, by the way. And he looks surprised for a moment. He turns to your direction with a big paintbrush in hand. He goes, oh, God! Do knock before you enter a place. My goodness, you scared me. So, what brings you guys down here? It's up to you, Stefan and Pyre, if you guys want to follow behind them and make your presence known, or if you want to just stay behind and wait it out. Currently, the only two people that I know are revealed are Ash and Zorg.
I'll go in.
You'll go in as well. Okay. And you, Stefan? Are you going to hang back, or are you going to go in too?
And I think maybe I'll stay back a little bit and wait and see what's developing.
Okay. Yeah, you can kind of see a figure. You can kind of see a figure off in the distance, but both of you are just barely out of range, so that you can't clearly see each other. But okay. So Zorg, Anton did ask you what you guys are doing down here. And he says, "Oh, and you brought some friends too. Do they want to join our little revolution as well?"
Pyre opens his mouth, shuts it, and side-eyes Zorg. Zorg, there's a timer going. You have a limited amount of time to talk.
Anton, what's going on here, man? Is this like a revolution thing?
Oh, revolution. Yeah. You know, just leaving some messages for other members, you know. You can never be too certain, because the House of Right have been keeping watch of things down here. So, you know, can't ever be too careful.
Zorg wants to investigate or look at whatever Anton is writing.
Okay. You can do that, and also, if you want to see if someone's lying, you can make an insight roll.
I would like to make an insight roll.
Okay. Make your insight check.
13.
Okay. He's very obviously hiding something. He's not being forthcoming with you, and it sounds like he's just kind of making some believable story up.
And what's going on with the drawings?
He did claim earlier that this was to communicate with other revolution members, because authorities are down here, so just want to give them a heads up.
What does it look like? Is it look like that, or does it look like he's writing something else?
Ash would probably assume that it's thieves' cant, and Ash chimes in and says, It doesn't look like any sort of marks that I'm familiar with. You know? You know... let's see. It kind of looks like one of them fancy writings that those wizards do, you know? At least that's what Ash's comment is. Anton says, well, well, you know, Mr. Stormwright asked me to, well,
Zorg is gonna stop
Sure.
you there, and he is
Hold
gonna
on,
pull
hold
out
on,
his
hold on.
battle axe.
Mom just entered the room, so I just need to see what she wants.
So, how's everybody doing?
Ooh.
Ooh,
I'm doing all right. Ooh.
Maybe.
Ooh.
I'm gonna just say
No?
this. Can we have a bit more on the? I don't know.
What do you want, Quellcake?
Not you to scare off him.
I'm about to
Yeah.
whip out my battle axe and intimidate the crap out of his pants.
Yeah, it's the barbarian. If he wasn't scaring people, he wouldn't be a barbarian. Flip side, I think one of the issues, Quelkek, is you're not there to encourage him.
No, I'm not. This is through the ethereal nature of the weave. And
Yeah.
the-
However,
and
I have, through infinite mercy, decided to give you a chance by essentially saying that you have time to roleplay before I just kill the obvious demonologist.
Yeah, I got a feeling he's like some kind of demon, you know?
It's so obvious
No.
what.
He's got bad feelings about demons.
No.
But you could get information from him, and he's not guaranteed bad guy. How does Zorg feel about murder? I think we've already had that question answered.
Battle axe.
Yeah, battle axe.
Okay, I am back. Alright, Zorg, what were you doing?
Zorg is whipping out battle axe intimidation. Zorg wants to know what is going on exactly here.
Okay, make your okay, how are you going to intimidate? So you say intimidate, but what are you
Zorg
doing?
looks at him and told him to stop talking. He says, "I know you are lying to me. Tell me the truth, or I will slice off your head."
Okay, make an intimidation roll. He goes, Zorg, buddy, calm down. We're all friends here, you know?
Hey, Stefan, can you see me?
Yes, he should.
Stefan, you got any fate rolls?
Oh my gosh, I seem to have left those in my other pocket. Oh no.
I left those in my
Uh,
other pants, actually. I
Stefan,
think he's
you-
at AFK right now.
You are saying something, but it's really muffled and in the distance.
He's under the water.
Yeah, it does sound like you're under the water and really far away. I don't know what's going on.
Oh, he's talking to somebody. He was not at the game right
Oh,
now.
okay.
He was AFK.
I'd
That would
imagine
explain it.
Do you think Stefan would use a role in this? Do we want information from
I-
this obvious demonologist or whatever this guy is?
if he's suspecting that there's probably going to be trouble down here, I think he would save it because I think he's on either his last one or his second one.
So that's what I didn't know if he only used one. I don't know how many he gets.
I think he might have
What was
used
that?
2 for you.
Stefan, how many fortune things do you have?
3 rolls, manipulating fate.
We haven't rested since the last thing that
Correct.
we did.
No, we
Okay,
haven't.
Well then, let me get back and take a quick look at the.
It says
thing and
2 on
see.
here.
Actually, I've got 3. It's based upon the proficiency, And
And you did use
the hell
at
is
least one
manipulate
last time.
fate.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know I might have used 2 of them though.
I
Yeah,
wanna
I
say
only
it was
remember
2 as
one,
well. First
but-
one of them was to re-roll a failed saving throw. I
Yeah.
think, and
then
the other one
was on the.
It was for the wolf. Yeah, I
grapple.
think so.
Oh, I've got 1 left.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go.
So you probably want to save it.
For emergencies.
Yeah, I
That's
failed
what
my
I usually
intimidation
use them
roll.
for. Oh well.
So
So he's not intimidated. So
no.
you
Well-
hit him a couple of times, he will be.
yeah. So Sword's gonna swing at him if he looks obviously unintimidated.
Well,
If I may,
it's
Zorg,
one of
now
2
that you've
directions.
taken an action,
So
I would
let me
like
just
to speak up, do a little
yeah.
bit of role playing.
let me just quickly narrate Anton's action, and then you can go. All right. So Anton, he goes, "Oh, Zorg, buddy, we're all friends here. There's no need for any problems, you know." And he just starts backing up towards the other door. And you're pretty certain that if you make a move, he's probably just gonna bolt. But Pyre, what are you going to do?
So that's your argument. He cordially gives you a chance to be nice to you, to spare your life, and your response is friendship? Zorg, what does friendship mean to you? Is this man your friend?
Zorg readies his axe.
Yeah, that's what I thought, Zorg. Show me, Zorg, show me how much you value a relationship with this man.
Zorg
You
charges.
can
He runs. Make an athletics roll.
Do I don't know if I got advantage on those right now or not. I have no idea.
No, you're not raging right now.
15.
All right. Actually, I think I did. Let me just double check his character sheet.
He can't be that slippery.
I mean, he was a good sharpshooter, so he does actually have a stat block.
Demon.
He probably needs to roll initiative to see if he gets to the door or not.
Well, we'll roll initiative right after this contest. Okay. Why isn't... Oh, API died again, didn't it? It's doing that a lot lately. I might need to start deleting some character sheets. Or moving character sheets over to the dummy game. Okay, well, I can make the roll right here. So he is going to try to evade you. Alright. So Anton did end up getting to the door first. He opens it, and then you see him just dive right into the muck in the middle. Are you gonna follow in after him?
Into the muck, like the sewer water?
Yes.
Do I still see him?
It is a little cloudy. You can kind of make him out.
Can Zorg
But,
throw a javelin with disadvantage?
Before you do that, Zorg, are we going through initiative order or is this role-playing encounter?
We're going to go into initiative order right now.
Okay. Before or after he enters the muck?
After he enters the muck, and then you guys go from there.
Okay.
So I need to roll for initiative?
Yes, but let me just delete all the
I
other
suppose
things
I have
on
to
here.
select a token first.
Yes.
Cannot select my token.
I'm gonna go BRB as well. I'll be back in a few minutes.
Okay.
Can't select mine either.
Oh, is there a problem? Hold on, let me see if it's bound. Oh, that's why. Okay, let me just delete all of your tokens, because this is bound. This was way back when I cloned your character sheets and then applied the new rules to them. Remade the character sheets, basically. So let me just delete everything.
Now we can pull one on to do something, right?
Yeah. Yep. From the character sheets that you actually have access to. So I'll just drag them all out since I've got it open right now.
Oh,
I'll delete that one. Okay. Why is his upside down? Quilkek, and Zorg. Since Zorg has to do something really quick, we'll just take a quick bathroom break. But roll initiative whenever. Alright, I'll be right back. Alright, I am back. Zorg, are you back?
I am.
Okay. Alright. Let me just make sure everyone's on the turn order with the correct turn. Pyre. That's not the right pyre. This is the right pyre. Zorg's not on there either, so let me just add you. 5. Monica will be acting the same turn as Stefan. Get rid of Stefan's old one. Yeah. And I don't think I rolled for Ash yet. No. That's Ash from previous combat. Oh my god, a nat 20 plus the plus 10. Alright.
I don't think we can get better initiative.
So does this lizard brain think that something is going on? He expressed that he wanted Ash to be a little dumb. I guess he could see that Anton might have been lying about making secret marks, at least in regards to Thieves' Cant. Okay. And he... Okay, so I'm going to have... We're still not going to be on a map, but all of you are going to be relatively close to each other. Let's see. We're gonna treat this kind of like a chase sequence. I forget exactly the rules for the chase sequence, but I'm pretty sure it's mainly events. Events can happen in between, and if a certain number of events passes, then your quarry escapes. Either that or the distance between you.
I do have questions.
Yep.
We have the same spells and spells used as last session, or have we had a rest?
You have not rested yet.
Okay, good to know.
Zorg's sitting at 20 HP.
You'll be fine, Zorg. How many rages do you have?
2.
You'll be just fine. That's like 40 HP. You got this.
I had
Yeah,
12.
we got advantage. So,
At least if you rage before you get hit.
Can only hope I don't get ambushed.
Alright. Well,
Sounds like a skill issue. I'm being
Man,
so
you guys-
mean. Also,
You guys are having
Don't
fun
forget-
right now. I'm just
I
watching
am.
all this.
Don't forget, Zorg, you have the bonus magic weapon and the magic, I think, shield.
Yeah, I still got it.
So
activated.
that's still a daily thing.
Am I still enlarged?
no.
Or is that.
It would have
No,
ran
that's
out
a
a while
10-minute
back.
spell at most. I think it's a 1-minute spell, actually. Let's double check. It is up to 1 minute. So it has been more than a minute since you fought the wolf. Debatably, the wolf fight took longer than a minute, but I take DM's blessings when I can.
Okay. Alright. Alright. Before we completely dive into this, Quelkek, are you still planning on tailing those paladins, basically just messing their plans up?
Yeah. We're gonna make their day really bad. I'm gonna be more effective here than I would be. Listen, part of Quackcook is already thinking like Zor can handle this. That's his mentality. Like if something goes wrong, Zor can handle it. So he's not gonna worry about the group right now.
Well, you currently don't know that the group is down here. You haven't seen them, and they haven't seen your beetle.
Oh, I didn't hear him either. Oh, okay. Gotcha.
You did hear Pyre's armor, but it was very nondescript and distant.
Oh, okay. So I heard armor,
Yes.
and okay, gotcha. Yeah, I wouldn't care about that then.
Yep. So as far as you know, you have no idea that the rest of the party are already down here.
Great.
Okay. You do hear off in the distance something loud splashing to the ground. Zorik, did you say anything? Did you say anything after he jumped into the water?
I gave you a chance.
Yeah, Quelkek, you hear an angry orc yelling, "I gave you a chance!" And you see the paladins' heads turn in that direction.
Only one person would be down in these sewers. Don't have many options. But I can't know for certain. Maybe it's just some random orcs, so I'll just keep following the paladins.
They begin to pick up their pace and head towards the source of the sound. And the party, you do hear the sound of armored footsteps beginning to walk closer. You also see what appears to be the dim illumination of light beginning to rapidly approach from another passage. You don't see the light directly yet, though. Okay, okay. We'll start off with Ash. Ash is going to... Let me see. I'm not sure if I have another sewer map that's basically just a series of long corridors. Not off the hand. No. So we're just going to have to do this in Theater of the Mind for right now. I'm just going to mark down a distance feet from Anton. Well, actually, I guess for Anton we'll just say freedom as in he gets away. Or rather, Anton gets away. Anton gets away, and we'll have that reduce by a value of 1, and this will go for 10 rounds. Okay. So you hear people beginning to approach. They sound like they're wearing heavy armor. Ash charges forwards, and he is going to dive into the muck as well, and he's going to try to grab Anton. Oh yeah, and he was supposed to be on your side in the war game, so you can see you can see his rolls. Alright, in this case, he is going to try to slip away, and Ash... Actually, I need to use his character sheet for this one. He's just going to make a dex save, and you... It's athletics or acrobatics for grapples, right? Or is that only for escaping a grapple?
You can choose between athletics and acrobatics when escaping a grapple. When starting a grapple, it must be athletics.
When starting is athletics. Okay. Damn. It's close.
DMs can always overrule that, but...
It's close enough that I'll give Ash a partial success on this. So Ash does manage to hold on to Anton's foot for a little bit, slow him down just a little bit before Anton gives him a swift kick, and Ash lets go. Ash doesn't seems to want to hurt Anton. Anton, on the other hand, dives deeper. Oh wow, that's a lot of turn stuff. I'm gonna remove all that. I think the API crashed again. It's gonna be one of those days.
Jorah.
Yep.
Do I got a stat sheet for my Saber Wolf or no?
Not
can I
at
use
the
it?
moment. Not at the
Okay,
moment,
so-
but yes,
so
you can
don't
use it.
Oh, okay.
You can use it. It's just not going to have, well, it's going to have some of its stats. Just bear in mind it's at 1 HP right now.
Oh. Okay. Sacrifice it.
Alright. Anton dives deeper and attempts to evade detection. Stefan, what would you like to do? I'm just going to assume that basically, you're probably going to be in the main hallway, and you're probably going to have line
Yeah,
of
I'll
sight
just
for the most
walk
part.
in the room and try to look through the door and see if I can see anything.
Well, you can see an angry orc chasing after something that's in the muck, and you can also see Ash just dive into the muck, chasing after someone, and that's someone diving under the waters.
Have I got that someone in sight at all?
Uh,
Diving
tech,
into it?
technically, since it was after his turn, no. You just barely lose sight of him.
Okay. I have to think about this. Nothing a lot that I can do without seeing him. So I will just hold a cantrip ready in case he pops his head up. Apparently we're attacking him.
Yep, at least that's what Zorg wants. Ash hasn't communicated that he just wants to hold him back.
It's pretty obvious what Sword wants to do.
Yep. And Monica's just kind of in the background. Well, actually, Monica probably doesn't pay any mind to what you guys are doing, as she's looking at all the strange markings on the walls. Alright, and that's everything, Stefan?
Yeah. Can't do
Okay.
anything else but just hold an action.
Alright. Pyre, what are you gonna do?
Yes.
Does she come into the
so
room and start
three
looking
people-
at She comes into the room and starts looking at the markings.
Yes, she starts examining all the markings.
Okay.
Well, I will adhere my speciality. Would I be able to identify anything about the god marks? Or more specifically, any... Yeah, let's do knowledge religion. It's not my forte, but I'll try. See if I can recognize god marks or demon marks.
Okay, what languages do you speak?
That is a great question. I definitely speak more than one. Looking for... There we go. Common, Celestial, and Dwarven.
Okay.
With your blessing, I would be happy to add Draconic to that list.
I mean,
I think it should be a natural for you.
funnily enough, I don't think it was. We ran into this in the mines where Secret started speaking to Pyre in Draconic, and he realized he did have Draconic on the list. So it was just Pyre awkwardly going, "Yep, I definitely know what you just said."
Okay, Canon, don't know
I think-
Draconic. Let's keep going.
Yeah, we'll leave that.
We all have weaknesses. This is his.
He doesn't speak his own language.
Yeah, yeah.
Bless Fizzban's dragons. Bless them all.
Okay. Okay. So you don't know what this script is written in. It's definitely written in some sort of script. And the next question is, are you going to ask Monica anything? Because that's likely going to affect what role you make.
Ask her questions? Are you mad?
I figured.
You can probably read it to you.
I mean, of course she would. Like any good servant would. But, I don't need her help. I am divine. Why would I stoop to her level?
Okay.
Probably just make a
So-
few notes and write a few things down that you want to know.
Yeah.
You want to ask.
So yeah, could also talk about arcane since I don't know anything in the religion, but it sounds like it's not an arcane language and it's not a religion symbol that I recognize. Nor is it anything to do with history. So yeah, twiddledum. I guess I'll examine the paint to see what type of material it's out of. Did he dive into the sewage with the paint? Or did he drop it
no.
beforehand?
He dropped the paintbrush and it's currently on the floor right now. Just make
Alright.
an Arcana check. So, and just so Monica's probably going to be interacting with you, so you can also just
That's fine. I don't
narrate
mind
like
assistance from women.
you're
They
doing.
just have to know their place. Okay, so that's a 25 Arcana check as Pyre thinks about his experience with ingredients.
Okay. So the paint can is still there. The paintbrush is on the ground as well. So what exactly are you examining? Are you examining the writing, the paint, the paint can itself? What exactly are you looking at?
I would say the brush and the paint are the two things he would focus on the most. I doubt the paint can is like, demons are us, buy one, get one free.
Just
Sherwin Williams Deluxe.
just looking at it, it looks like it's obviously a little bit pricier than what your common beggar could afford. But it looks like it's typical ink that's used for writing magical script or writing scrolls or glyphs of warding. It looks like it's an all-purpose general ink for your magical needs and ritual needs.
Now, normally when writing ink in a spell book, you have to spend hundreds of gold to have like a page like filled out. So to have a bucket of stuff, how much is this worth?
It is, well, bear in mind
'Cause
that
this
magic
is
is
your
common.
world.
Magic is
This is your
common in
world.
this,
Magic
so
is
I would
common.
say
I'm more
in this
stating the reason for
world,
needing
it's-
clarifications for your setting.
in this, it's probably something. Let's see. It isn't like a massive It isn't like a massive. It's probably not a gallon. It's probably, let's say, it's a smaller one.
Well, even a pint is impressive.
Yeah, I'd
I'm
probably
just
say
curious
something
at
like
how common these are.
probably a quart. It's probably a quart. This is. Obviously, there are different. There's going to be different qualities of ink. This one looks like it's premium, highest quality ink that you could get, and it's at least a quart, and it's probably would run somewhere in the ballpark of 1,000 gold.
So I'll nod. High quality ink. Easily 1,000 gold. That's my knowledge check. We can move on to the next person. I am not
say that
diving
out
into the
loud?
sewer DM. I say it
know.
out loud. Sorry, my he
Well,
says
Stefan did not either.
Pyre says 1,000 gold at least worth of ink. Someone was up to something. I'm
And
not going into that sewerage.
Yeah. And Monica also chimes in and says, "Oh yeah, these are some very interesting marks. A summoning circle
Yeah,
there, a summoning circle right there, and like she points to the room and she starts pointing all around. Obviously, this is only 6 seconds, but she says a summoning circle there, a name, a true name of a demon over there. Oh, it's quite interesting what he was doodling over
Oh,
here.
don't forget to write down the names. Oh, also, I thought you should know. I saw him drop a journal or something in the sewage. It looked like it sunk to the bottom.
Make a deception roll.
Deception.
13. Okay.
Stefan, you may roll against this as well.
You obviously hear this.
Yeah.
Or you can choose. I think Stefan's much more logical than Monica when it comes to wisdom.
Well,
mean,
I'm
she-
standing in the door, and she tries to go in. She's not going to make it.
Okay, a journal. Oh, a journal. She first looks over to her familiar, her parrot. Says, "Coco, do you know how to swim?" "Rah? Nope, I'm not getting in that water. Rah?" Darn. Stefan? Did you see a journal fall into the water?
Nope.
Oh. Darn. I guess it's gone now.
If it ever was.
Probably carried away. Though, I did see a bit of a metal lock on it. You know, the framing clasp? It is probably nothing. Lost. Never to be discovered. So tell me about these summoning circles.
We'll do that next turn. Stefan, what were you saying?
I said he probably took it with him. If there was a journal.
Oh. Oh, I see. Hey, Zorg, if you find a journal on him, do you mind taking it and showing it to me? You might have more information about all these strange markings on the walls. And that's up to you, Zorg, if you want to respond at all, if you're just going to continue the hunt.
Zorg goes, and then pulls out a net.
Alright. Okay, well, it's your turn, Zorg, so you whipped out your net.
Does Zorg see Anton?
I mean, you saw where he dove down, but he might be away from that location now. You'd likely have to do a little bit of a guesstimation, maybe a survival check to...
Or move to where he was and hold an action with a net ready.
One of those two.
Zorg's gonna do Overwatch. Like, he's gonna move a little bit towards the area of where he dove down, but further down the way, like away from us, and just sit there ready with the net.
Alright. Alright. Round needs to be reset to 1. And I think the API died again. Oh well.
It's crippled.
Gone forever. Rest in peace. All our listeners, you're invited to the funeral.
Don't worry, it will reincarnate.
I'm gonna bury the API.
Alright. So you still hear the sound of some of at least 3 people approaching who sound like they're in a heavy suit of armor. Quelkek, so what you heard from last round. First you heard a splash, then you heard a second splash. Then you probably heard Ash cry in pain as he got kicked. And then you hear a little bit of murmurs in the distance from Pyre and Monica both talking with each other.
How are these guys I'm following reacting to all this?
So they start coordinating with each other. They say, "Sounds like we've got trouble. Maybe it's some bums having a bum fight or something, or maybe they're fighting over mushrooms. Look, just lock the situation down. If they're a bunch of beggars, just get them the hell out of the sewers, alright? Just de-escalate, get them out. We don't need more problems or disappearances."
Oh my gosh, I have an idea. Oh my gosh. Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I want to do prestidigitation, and I want to make on the wall the lettering that they use, and I'm gonna make it glow. I'm gonna make that thing look like it's activating the same way that the thing came out.
Okay.
I want to see their reaction to that, and depending on how they do, I'll just let it fade back.
Because you did see.
I did see.
So,
So technically, it's not the actual ink, so it can't actually. I don't think it can. Well, technically, it's a name, but it depends on how you rule that, like whether or not it's actually a name, and it still applies the summoning effect. That'd be weird. I don't know how that works, but I want to just see the reaction. But I want to do it in the direction that it's like, if there's a turn, I want to make it seem like it was left behind by the people that they're hearing. Like, they couldn't have done it, but I want to see it so that it's in front of them, in the direction that they're coming from.
Okay.
And then if it helps, I want to make, and then if they continue to follow that, I'm going to continually have them just like popping up randomly, trailing towards the party, because they're going to go to the party anyway. It sounds like so.
There is the small problem that your familiars can still only cast touch spells, and it's a distance of 10 feet, which unfortunately, the distance is definitely greater than 10 feet, even if you had a grate up there.
What if
the distance would be something like 60 to 80 feet.
Is there a way that I can get the bug to kind of like go forward and kind of just like crawl across the wall? Like, I want to just like sniff around near some piles of garbage and then crawl up the wall. Not really like go towards the symbol, but kind of just like zigzag around like it's searching randomly, just doing what bugs do. Look natural, and then it just happens to go over the section and it activates it. And then, due to the light, it flies away, scared.
I did say that the first issue is Prestidigitation is, I believe it's a range 10 spell, unless it's something that's centered on you, which I don't think it is.
So, if we look at Prestidigitation, I'm pretty sure it's 120 feet, right? No, it's 10 feet. Never mind. I was thinking about something else. Yeah, it's only 10 feet. So, I mean, if I can get close enough to do that plan to, just make it seem like it is. Heck, I'm willing to start putting infernal symbols on the beetle if they really get interested. Because I know some of them back from my homeland. So I'm gonna start. We're not gonna get to that. I just want to get their attention here. So they'll see the beetle. I want to make it seem like it's a message from whoever it is.
Okay.
Did I see any of the what I've seen his name on the portal or something akin to that? When he showed up in the room?
Okay, you're talking about when that demon summoned and immediately died, right? Or...
That one, and also the one that came to the Winston. Not Winston, the guy in the room.
Make a... You know what? Why don't we make a perception roll to see how well you saw both of them?
Okay.
With your Soul Link, I think I would allow you to cast Prestidigitation on yourself, and then that mark shows up on your beetle. I would
on the
allow
beetle.
that.
Oh, it's a 9. At least I know I have the writing, so I could have the writing show up on the beetle, but that's a little bit weird.
Yeah, there didn't seem to be any any descriptive name when you first saw the demon or the other demon that was just summoned and crumbled. You didn't see any identifying names.
So even if I'm landing on a surface and I'm touching it with the beetle, I still can't cast Prestidigitation on the wall. It has to be on the beetle.
Yeah, I'd say it has to be on the beetle. Yeah. When you cast healing spells, you can't cast it through the beetle to someone else, except unless it's a familiar. Like normal Soul Link, you can't do that.
Okay. We'll keep it in the back pocket.
Okay.
We'll keep it in the back pocket. But I am going to, if needed, we're going to start doing some... Oh, if I can't cast... Can I make the beetle glow and flash a light? And I'm gonna make it go towards the party. Not so that the enemies can see. I'm gonna wait until it's far enough along, but I'm gonna go ahead of the enemies and start flashing the light.
Okay. Is that part of Prestidigitation, or is that another spell?
That's pretty sure I can cause a
instantaneous light.
Yeah, right. Like I can do that. So I can instantly, or snuff out a candle, clean. You can make a small mark or symbol appear on an object or surface for 1 hour. So if need be, and they don't understand the message, I'll get their attention, and then I'll put the beetle on the wall, and then on the back of its carapace, I'm gonna start putting symbols, and each symbol, it's gonna be like hieroglyphics, and it's going to show the group of enemies coming down towards them. So.
Bear in mind, canonically, you still have no idea that the party's down here.
Oh, I don't? Then I didn't even hear his voice. Oh, wait. Again, when you say I heard Ash's voice, I heard a voice.
You,
So, you
what's
have
your
to make a
past
perception check?
Yeah,
13.
Might as well.
Thir-
13.
13?
13 by default. You guys, well, they are closing in now, so I think you probably heard Ash and Zorg enough that you could probably make it out from a distance of 200 feet when they're yelling.
Okay.
So yeah, you definitely know that it's the party down here.
Okay. Gotcha. I was just making sure, because now I realize what you were saying. You were not necessarily specifying that. You're just saying that for the player's sake, not the characters.
Yeah.
Okay, but we'll assume now that I can hear them. So I'm going to do that same thing, do my little flashing light thing, get them to be alert to that, and then we'll handle it from there, hopefully.
All right. And just to repeat, so Beetle is going way ahead of the Paladins, basically where it can probably see the party at that intersection, and then start flashing the lights, basically, to notify that something's coming. Okay.
Yep. I'm going to make sure that it's like, if need be, I'll flash the head or the abdomen to make sure that the guys don't see the flash. I don't want them to know.
Okay. Well, you guys see, you guys do see an unusual light flicker off in the distance. You might, unless your perception is something like maybe 15 and you've been actively chasing this, actively chasing Anton, you probably won't even see the beetle. Even then, even if you saw the beetle, you don't know that it's Quelkex because he hasn't shown it to you yet. I don't think.
I have not so far.
Yep. But yes, anyone who's currently out in that hallway chasing after Anton can see some flashing lights. Well, flashing small lights.
Oh, it's coming in the direction Anton is heading out, huh?
Correct. I mean, it's up to you whether or not you think that that might be a hostile target, or if that's Anton's escape plan, just fire at it. But that's up to you.
Well, my perception being at 12, I don't even see it, because I'm looking for Anton.
You might see just the little light off in the distance, because that would be very clear in pitch black darkness.
Yeah, but it doesn't make any sense, just a light.
Yeah.
A flicker could be anything.
I know if Stefan knows Morse code. I'm just asking, does Morse code exist in this universe?
More than likely, certain ciphers similar to Morse code does exist.
Would he know that? Would I know that he knows that?
I mean, I wouldn't say that it's a very common skill to be able to decode ciphers.
Gotcha. Okay, it was worth a shot.
Alright.
Doesn't look like a twinkling light to me.
Yep.
If either one of us even knew ciphers.
Ash is too busy in the water to notice the light, and Zorik probably notices the light in the corner of his eye.
It doesn't care.
Not target. Get net ready. Okay.
If they don't react, can I change it to being, instead of a flashing light, I want on the beetle's forehead, I want a small blue flame to appear.
You'll do that next turn. You've already done your
Okay.
turn to make the flashing lights.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So we're gonna go on to Ash's turn. Ash is going to Well, he does have goggles on. He does have actual goggles on, so he's gonna dive. Ash is going to dive. It's not the worst thing that he swam in, so he's going to... There's so many things I could do with Ash. But I'm just gonna do the normal things. I guess normal from a certain point of view.
What's normal about Edge?
I am going to...
He likes to eat fingers like a certain goblin I used to play.
Look,
Why is that a
I'm-
common theme? Why is it like, oh yeah, I did that? It's like, okay.
Well, my goblin just called it finger food.
Is that is that
Till
is that the
somebody
joke?
caught him eating fingers. They knew what he was talking about.
God, like the dread realization. Oh,
Yep. Well,
uh,
then they wanted to find out what was in that good jerky I kept giving them. I told them finally. It was the finest rat tails in the town.
you're a monster. Why did you ruin jerky? That's a sacred thing up with cheese curds where I'm from.
look, you don't need to know that some of the tastiest cheese have maggots in it, okay? Just don't question it.
No.
Thanks.
Look, it's banned from everywhere except something like Sicily, I think. Or maybe it's just banned in the US. I don't remember. But it is true. Don't look it up if you're weak of stomach.
I'm
But
not
anyway.
I'm not necessarily the strongest of stomach. Thanks for that image.
If you want more cursed facts, then no, I'm not going to.
Visit my second channel.
Visit my OnlyFans account, where I give you cursed knowledge every single day. Be sure
Actually,
to
my-
like, comment, and subscribe.
I think that would be the only time I'd actually go to OnlyFans then. Like, I think that'd be the only instance.
Alright, back to the game. And funny thing is, I was considering just having Ash just bite Anton, because he would likely hit. But we're not going to do that. Instead, what we're going to do is we're going to have him whip out his grappling hook and just stick it in the clothes. It's probably going to tear off his shirt, but we're going to see if we can reel him in like a
yeah.
fish. We're gonna see if we can reel him in like a fish. Where is his sheet?
Yeah, hooked him.
He gets hooked. Alright. And I'm just gonna roll a 1d20 to see if his tattered rags survive getting pulled. Alright. Alright, so Stefan and Zorg, you see something pop up over the water. For any of you who don't immediately jump the gun and take in the sight, you can see that the person is Ash, and he jumps out of the water onto the side, and he starts pulling a rope. And judging on this distance, he can still bonus action dash. So actually, he might be able to just pull him straight out of the water. I think we just need to make... So first, he is hooked. He's holding onto the rope, and he's above... I'm not gonna have him pull. His action was to put the grappling hook on in the first place, but he is going to use his full movement to get the full length of the rope out of the water. And Anton is going to try thing is, the hook has been squarely put into his back shirt. I don't think he can easily remove that. So he's just going to swim for his life.
Flop like a fish.
Oh no. Ash rolled a nat 1.
That mean he pops up out of the water.
Okay, so Ash loses Ash ends up losing his grip on his rope, and it slips through his wet fingers and flies right into the muck. You can still see the top of the rope above the water as Anton starts swimming away, still out of sight. Stefan, it's your turn.
The rope is on the water,
Yes.
and it's moving, and we can see it's moving.
Yep, you can.
I pull out my crossbow. Make the assumption that if I shoot into the water right about a foot or two beyond where the rope is, there's going to be something there.
All right.
So I will
In this
aim,
case,
and I'm assuming that I have disadvantage to hit.
make disadvantage to hit.
Well, there's the first one. Roll again.
Still a 19,
Guess what?
so that is a hit.
I don't know which one you want to take for the damage.
We'll take the first one.
Okay.
So you
It's
do
11 points and a burst of fire pops him for 3 more as he whittles.
You can see bubbles rise up to the surface.
And
All
I
right.
say, there he is, Zorg.
Oh yeah, you definitely
Can
would.
Zorg see him?
You can see the bubbles coming up.
Actually, it did light up briefly with your genie's wrath fire, so he probably does directly see.
Where he is, maybe
yeah,
not see
directly.
him, but
Yeah,
So
you can
it goes
see
to
where he
that.
is.
and he's got a held action and throw a net on it.
So he's gonna throw a net at
Alright.
him.
All right, make a strength check. I think either strength or a dexterity check, and then add your proficiency bonus, which I believe is still a. Well, no, wait, it's a 3 now. It's a 3 now since you're 5.
So 8 strength. So roll my strength.
Yeah, make a strength check and then add a +3 to the result.
15.
15. Wait, I need to double check what his list AC was. And again, it's probably lower than the war game amount given. I keep getting baited by the API dying. I'm just gonna scroll up. His AC was 16, but it would probably be lower than that. So yes, you net something. You net something down there. You see the rope that Ash let go just kind of begin flailing side by side.
I caught the rope.
Gonna grab the rope too?
Yeah,
I guess.
kinda.
Yeah. This is like the net that you normally have is likely not a fishing net. It's probably more of like just the steel balls on the outside rope net. But yeah, you can use Ash's rope to reel in your catch when it's your turn in a little bit.
Okay.
All right, and you're done with your turn, right, Stepan?
Yeah. I'm done.
All right. Pyre, what did you ask Monica again? Or what did you want to ask her?
Oh boy, it's been a little bit. I think I had teased her about the journal, and then I had asked her for more details about the summoning stuff. Essentially, he's asking her to say the origins of the demons, which god, whose alliance, if she knows anything about who they were.
Okay. She says, she points to the center and says, well, it's incomplete, but I believe this is supposed to be the unfinished mark of Solemn, the god of magic, the god of souls, and the god of knowledge. This demon's probably supposed to be a soulless. And from the looks of it, the circle's meant to summon more than one demon. Maybe an entire host of demons.
Okay. Huh. Does it say any signs of where they would have come from? Not the demons, but like whether it's a interconnective web, multiple summonings in different places, all connected together to be done at once.
Well, I only have this room to go off of, so I can't really tell just by looking at this. We'd have to find some other markings. At the very least, in this room, it looks like it has at least 5 summoning circles at minimum. So it looks like they're all interdependent.
What is the trigger for the summoning? What's required?
Now, and I actually need to have her make a check for it because she might not even know. Okay. Oh, come on.
Me, my little tower of knowledge, might not know something.
Well, a connoisseur doesn't need virgin blood. Is it dependent on when a certain someone dies? Do you just need to say the name out loud? It'd be nice to not trip over ourselves.
I kind of wish Ash was here. I really do wish Ash was here.
Getting to do so many things.
Because this is relevant to his character, but, Monica says, well, it doesn't look, well, it is incomplete, but if I had to guess, it's the trigger for the summon is likely having a host walk right here in the center.
Okay,
And just
Monica?
Yes?
Make sure none of the idiots walk in the center.
Well, it's unfinished, so it shouldn't be dangerous. Relatively. And she does also continue, the last thought that I wanted her to finish was, that it's supposed to bind. It looks like it's supposed to bind something here. Probably bind something to the person who activates it, maybe. Or maybe it binds to an item.
Okay.
Alright. And is there anything else you want to do on your turn, Pyre?
I think I've taken up plenty of time.
Okay. Alright, Zorg. So, you have grabbed Ash's rope, and you've presumably threw your net on Anton. What would you like to do?
Zorg will yank the rope.
Alright, make an athletics roll.
What rolls? 12.
Yow, that's a really bad roll. I'm gonna be
Right.
making my strength roll a disadvantage. Okay. So with a good forceful yank, you do manage to pull Anton out of the water back onto the sidewalk.
Is he netted?
Yeah, he is currently netted, as well as has a grappling hook inside the back of his shirt, and he starts coughing a little bit.
Got a bolt in the back of his head.
Yep.
Looks a little worse for the wearer.
Hey, that's not cool. As he's still on the ground. He kind of looks in your direction, Zorg, but not meeting your face or your eyes. Why you gotta do that to a man?
You're doing something suspicious. You're lucky I didn't
And-
stab you.
And that's why you attacked me? Because you didn't think my face looked right?
Sometimes.
I can never understand an orc. You gonna take that shit, Zorg?
Zorg will say it's part of the job.
Zorg, I think some of us would like to question him, but since he's proven that he's willing to run away, how about you cut one of his hamstrings? I mean, what are friends for?
Zorg looks over and questions, "What's a hamstring?"
Hamstring. It's back the ankle. Cut it, he can't walk or run.
He can hop.
Probably crippled for life.
What about his head? Does he need that?
That'd kill him.
Hmm.
No. Squishy bits in the head makes everything work. We need him to be able to talk. Don't worry, magic fixes everything, Zorg.
Okay.
Everything.
We can always speak with Dead if he doesn't want to talk now.
Zorg will whip out his great club
But would this be something you would do, Zorg?
and stand over top of him menacingly.
Okay. Stand over top of him menacingly. Okay. Well, you did just yank him out, so I'd say that's probably the end of your turn, as the paladins finally round that corner. So, the paladins round the corner, and they shout, they round the corner, you'd actually still be in the darkness, but they definitely see some shadows off in the distance. They'd say, "Freeze! House of Divine here! Break up whatever squabbles you all have, and clear out of here. It's not safe down here in the sewers." They still, they probably would have lamps, but their light currently doesn't extend far enough to reveal any of you. And at the very least, they look like they're humans.
Oh, good.
Humans
Are you
supposed
also
to be easy to
demonologist,
kill.
or? No, Zorg, they might have manacles on them. It'd
Well,
save us
slice those
the
off, too.
screaming. Yeah. But if we cut him, he'll scream. He won't shut up.
Slice him some more.
Well, if you want to kill him, I'm not stopping you. Like, we're having this monologue while the
Yeah,
guards are
yep.
there.
And
Not whispering.
The guards say, break it up, all of you. Break it up.
Zorg wants to inspect the guards. Are they strong? Do they look strong?
I mean, they are bearing House of Divine crests. Why don't you make a perception roll? Let's see how good
23.
perception is. Oh. Well, just based off your instinct, they probably are somewhat strong. Though you don't really
Could you
get a feel for
describe
anything
their
else.
armor for him?
Yeah.
They are wearing, and in this case, they are wearing plate. Two of them are
What
wearing
kind of
plate,
weapons?
and one of them is wearing chainmail. The two in the front, they have pole arms, and the one in the back has a mace.
Is it just 3?
Yeah, just 3.
Hmm. I think we can kill them all.
No, no.
Do we want to?
Wait.
I mean,
I
Zorg,
call out to them. You can stand down, man. This is Stefan here. Herald of Sirkava. We've apprehended this man. He was doing something. We're trying to figure it out as soon as we get him in here. Been making markings on the walls. We think it was to summon demons or something. But we've got it under control. You can patrol other areas.
And you also flash the mark of Sirkava? I mean, well, flash the holy symbol.
Yeah, I'm flashing
Okay.
holy symbols that
Okay.
they can see. Or if they can see that far.
I mean, they probably can't, but they might see a glint in the darkness. I actually do need to consider their next move here.
Well, it's pretty persuasive.
well,
Yeah.
it's one of those things, DM, of whose side are they on?
I mean, we
Are
already
these
know
good
what
paladins
side
or bad
they're on.
paladins?
How
And
do-
maybe
like-
they were erasing demonic symbols. Maybe it's a counterinsurgency or even bait. Who are we to judge? Am I a judge? I don't look like a judge. Let's take the moral high ground here. Like, they have an opportunity here, DM. They can look like heroes. We can even give them someone who's a prisoner.
They walk up closer, and they do immediately recognize Ash of Tournament of Steel fame. And you see a little bit of hesitation in their eyes. They all kind of look at each other. They walk a little bit closer. Stefan, do you walk closer, like get closer
I'll
to the
walk
light?
on the ledge and
Yeah.
produce a little flame in my hand so they can see the symbols. And they can see my face and recognize me as a champion of the tournament also.
Oh, I mean the golden rooster hunt, yes.
Yeah.
as the winner. Now that I think about it, since your raven was the one that captured it, you probably would have been on the front page of the newspapers. So they do recognize both Ash and Stefan, and they say, "Ah, I see. I see. The House of Right or the House of Veer really should have let us know that you guys were going to be exploring down here. Very
It was
well.
a sudden thing. We had a tip, and we followed up on it and captured this one.
Ah, I see, I see, I see.
Unless
Well-
you're suggesting that we simply walk in the sewers.
Well,
Not
who knows what
exactly
you're...
the place
Yeah.
we go to.
Is it your place to know? You're patrolling, you're keeping the safety, yeah?
No,
You know why you're patrolling down here? It's
Uh,
because we fucking told your superiors to send you.
hmm.
We're the whistleblowers, so shoo. Unless you have a pair of manacles or can make yourself useful, stop throwing your name around when it doesn't mean anything to us.
Mm-hmm.
You're
Thing
riding
is-
a lot on that 28 persuasion, guys.
Don't worry. Let's balance that out. Give me a moment. Persuasion. It's a 22.
Oh my god. I mean, I would have
That's
labeled this more as
that's
intimidation, but yeah, it'd still be the
I-
double net 20.
Double nat 20 DM.
That's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah. And they
I was
say,
doing my
Just
best to
every
sabotage you,
minute,
but apparently I'm wrong. So many levels.
well, it looks like you have things all under control here, and since you wanted manacles, they basically toss some manacles your direction, and says, if you see any other suspicious individuals, feel free to let us know if you are unable to apprehend them. We'll be sure to catch them and bring them to justice.
Very good, gentlemen. Carry on.
Yep, and they start walking away. When they get out of earshot of the party, Quelkick, your beetle's still on them. I'm assuming, right?
Oh, you know it. It's still going on.
And they start saying, oh, that's problematic. We can't exactly have the meeting down here now that it's been compromised. Maybe if we get more reinforcements, we might be able to get rid of all of them. But that's easier said than done. We need to... let's see. Maybe if we used... You haven't actually met this person yet, but they say Richard Devine. Maybe if we start, maybe if we head back to Richard Devine, we'll be able to get an accusation against them, brand them as heretics or traitors, and then we can get rid of them that way. The whole Church of Sirkava will be breathing down their necks. You sure? I mean, that guy said he was part of the Church of Sirkava, so we're definitely going to need some good fake evidence to get him to really get the Inquisition on him. Don't worry about that. I'm sure Milton Crown will be able to rig the courts in our favor. Come on. Let's go tell our bosses. And they start making their way out of the sewers. Alright. The camera pans.
And to be specific, that was them talking outside of us. We didn't hear that.
Yeah, that's outside of earshot.
Okay.
That is the Quelkick.
Okay, great.
Alright.
And you know what? That was so persuasive. I'm not even gonna worry about it. I'm gonna continue following these guys. They got it, man. I've never been so persuaded in my life.
And just to reiterate, those are the two names that they mentioned. Richard Devine and Milton Crown.
I thought you had said
Alright.
Milton Brown for a second. I was gonna be like, the chocolate? Like Milton? Never mind.
Milton Crown. Alright, okay. So, back to the rest of the party. You've been given manacles. I'm going to assume that you probably just... that you put manacles on his arms, unless you want to put them on his legs to keep him from running. It's up to you.
Zorg.
Yeah, Zorg, you are the closest. You currently have him, so you can do whatever you want. You can cut his hamstring, you can... you can mutilate him however you please. Or you can just restrain him with the manacles that have been thrown your direction, and see if you can interrogate him, if he's able to be interrogated. Zorg, are you muted? Zorg? Uh-oh.
Well, anyways, we put the manacles on him. Yes, we will put it on his legs.
We'll have to see
And
later
while
if he's
doing
asleep.
so, I will... Okay.
Okay, but you put manacles on him, and you put him to sleep, you said?
I will
mean-
put manacles on him, and I will comment that it's a pity we only have one pair. And if he tries to do anything with his hands, we will break his fingers. Or amputate them.
Just let Zorg eat them.
Ash.
Ash.
Yeah.
Ash.
Yeah, reuse, recycle.
Yeah, gotta recycle things.
Oh, and before I forget, there was one thing I was going to mention. Quelkek, remember that ethereal chain that you saw? That ethereal chain ends at that ethereal chain you saw go into the water. You didn't see Anton, but you did see that chain go into the water of whatever Ash and Zorg were chasing. Actually, you did see him, Zorg, drag him out of the water, so you see that the chain ends where Anton is.
Okay, does it lose its magical quality? Is it still magical? Like it fell,
it's-
so I'm assuming it's not floating anymore. So if the floating was the
no.
only reason I thought it was magic.
No. The chain that you saw, it leads directly to Anton. It didn't move. It originates from Anton.
It originates from Anton.
Either
How is
originates
it
or it
con-
ends.
How is it connected to him? Or is it?
It's,
How?
Right into his soul, because you can see into the ethereal plane. Well, kind of see into the ethereal plane.
Oh, oh crap! Oh no! Well, that's not good. Jeez. Okay, so that changes things. I didn't realize that no one else could see the chain. Until, you know what? I just realized that when you described them walking into Anton's room, you never described a chain. I should have thought about that. Okay, cool. So I can only see that. That's great. Wait a second. That means that there's another end.
Mm-hmm.
That means that there's another end. There's another end to every chain. Oh man, there's so many things now I gotta do. All right. I gotta deal with. I really want to piss off these paladin people until. You know what? If it's connected to his soul, and they have him, I'll just find the party again. I'll just backtrack the chain from wherever Anton is. So I think my goal right now is just annoy these guys until they go home and go to sleep, and then I'll do it again tomorrow. I will do this every day, and I don't know, maybe until something changes. I just think it's funny to like, until I want it. The reason is because I have them in my sights, which is enough. And if I lose sight of them, there's no telling when I'll see them again. So I have to I have to keep shadowing these people because they're probably the biggest breakthrough that I've had so far that's like concrete proof that there is. Guess what? It's a good thing I didn't trust them. Like, that proves what I was trying to get at, that there is corruption and that there are people within these structures that I can't trust. So, that's my and basically right now what I'm doing is I'm taking all that I'm seeing and I'm creating like a I'm creating files in my brain, like video files, because like a video camera or security camera, I am picking this all up and I'm gonna share it later. So the point is that I am scouting the crap out of this.
All right. All
So-
right. Okay, back over to the party. Back over to the rest of the party. Alright, so Pyre just finished basically threatening Anton. Okay, so Anton says, "Look, what do you want? I got nothing, okay? Do you want gold? Do you want... Like, I don't know. I don't have anything to give."
Why are you talking? You're a demonologist. Of course you're useful.
Demonologist. Okay. I forget if I wrote anything in that note. Hold on, let me just double check to see if I elaborated. Oh, I forgot about that detail. Okay. You accuse him of being a demonologist. He says, demonologist? I don't know what you mean by demonologist. I was just told to draw these funky letters, okay? I don't know what's going
And you did
on.
it with such precision. I mean, if you weren't one, you are now. But if you insist that you have no skills, no wealth, no items, no usefulness, doesn't that mean you're a liability? I have never had someone ask for death so vehemently before, but I suppose your logic is sound,
He
unless
starts
I'm mistaken.
he starts hyperventilating a little bit. Look, I just don't want to die, okay?
Yeah.
Look,
So admit to your strengths. Can you or can't you summon demons?
look, just help me, okay?
I am
I
helping
think-
you.
And
Look,
I'm going
Without
to
me, you'd be
say
dead
something-
already.
I'm going to
Are
say
you-
something to him infernal and ask him, who is your master? Does he react?
Who is your master? He kind of
Yep.
looks at you.
I'm asking him in
Yeah.
infernal.
Yeah, in an infernal. He kind of looks at you a little funny and saying, and then he turns to Pyre and he says, "What did he say?"
Hell if I know.
I think it's infernal I speak. I speak.
Why didn't you ask him? You know he speaks common, right? I'm liking you less and less as this goes on.
Anton says, "Okay."
Oh, excuse me, abyssal, not infernal.
Abyssal. Well, the reaction is still the same, which is peculiar considering what he wrote.
Yeah.
But thing is, I didn't actually figure out the full extent of how much he is aware of what his current condition is. I'm going to make a intelligence check. 'Cause I don't think he even knows what's going on with him. Okay. Look. When you guys found me the other day, because I think canonically you guys have been in this town for what, a week? Or 8 or 9 days, somewhere around that time? Because you
Not
haven't
much
been here that
longer.
long. Maybe a little bit longer than that, but still, I feel like it's not greater than 2 weeks. But when you
Don't
had...
forget-
We came to the tournament, and I think we had about 3 weeks to go before the tournament, and it started. So it's been about 3, I think.
That was 1 or 2 weeks. That doesn't
Oh,
matter.
doesn't matter.
Either way, you've been here less than a month.
Yeah.
So he says, look, when you saved me the other day, I don't know what happened. I've just been feeling weird. I get these weird nightmares, these weird dreams, telling me that if I just, follow these plans, just do what the voices in my head say, then all this pain will go away. I don't know what's going on.
Oh. What did the voices tell you now?
Well, the voices tell me that... And he starts hyperventilating. Please don't kill me. Please don't kill me.
Don't you
wanna
want to die?
I don't want to
And why
die.
else would you be sent here? To draw a circle? No, this wasn't for someone else. This was for you. You wanted it to die and be the nutrition for a demon. Just have one burst out of you, right out of your chest cavity as you lay there, slowly bleed out.
But they
Unless
said
I'm wrong.
They said it wasn't me. They said they'd get someone else. Some
Of
some
course
guy
they
who's
said
terrified
that.
of everyone. They told me
Of course
give
they
him
did.
They told me to give him some strange stone and that they'd take care of the rest.
And you think that they would tell you the truth? It's all in your head. You're either insane or possessed. Either way, that makes you useful. See, honesty. That's something friends do, right?
What?
Honesty. Look, what are you getting at? Are you going to help me or are you just toying with me?
That depends on you. What do you want?
I want
You
to
want to live?
I want to get free from whatever the hell this thing is.
Even if it means, what if you can't do both?
Are you are you telling me to turn myself into the House of Divine and have them purify me?
Wouldn't that look better than being dragged in shackled? What's more dangerous, a prisoner who's a volunteer or a prisoner who is struggling and a danger? Someone who's willing to dive into muck just to buy a few seconds of time.
I don't want to die. I don't want to die. I don't want to turn myself into the House of Divine. If they're gonna kill me.
Yeah, so that's why you turned into us, right? Because we're your friends. Because you trust us. You trust me, don't you?
Make a persuasion roll. Let's see how trustworthy you look.
I'm not trustworthy, DM.
I mean,
This is an intimidation roll. This
Okay,
isn't whether or not
intimidate.
he trusts me. This is whether or not I can get him to say he trusts me.
Then
I
make the
am
intimidation roll.
Thoroughly enjoying that as a 14.
14. Okay. he says, well, what other choice do I have? I think it's over now.
Well, I tried to make it clear. Could always kill you. But you don't seem to want that. You want to be cooperative. You want to be helped. You're not a lost cause. You know what demons do to people's souls?
They drag them to the abyss?
No, that's where they go by default. That's what happens when they eat the soul. Just a little bite, little nibble, and then there's no going back. You're doomed. Have you been bitten by a demon? Not physically, in your dreams.
Have I been bitten? I don't know. I've just been haunted with these dreams. You said it might be possessed. Maybe I've got a ghost? I don't know.
Did you let them in? Did you let them in? Or are they still trying to
willingly.
get in? Good. That's the important thing. It's the moment you give in, willingly. That's when you become the vassal. Am I clear?
And what exactly do you want me to do about it? I don't know what to do but follow orders.
Good. So follow my orders, yeah? You're good at that, right?
And you've got a plan?
Hey, Stefan! Plan? No, I got an interest. You are interesting. These are beautiful, beautiful drawings. I want to know what you know about them. Even if it's just your dreams. Information on the enemy is useful. They are the enemy. You want to be free of them. I want to destroy them. The law means nothing to me. I make the law. So, when you ask yourself that you want to live and you beg for me to let you live, what I ask of you is, why should I? You don't have to answer right now. But in the future, every action you take, I want you to think, are you pleasing Pyre? Are you making your master happy?
Okay.
What the what am I hearing right now? What kind of ASMR bullcrap am I hearing over the radio? I'm just doing other stuff right now, and I'm trying to follow this, and I'm like, how did we get from? By the way, let's just set the scene. The guy is covered in crap. You just dragged him out of the sewer. He's now laying on the ground, and you know what? I regret leaving this man with you psychopaths. I didn't realize that it was going to be this bad. I would have stayed then.
Out of character, I am mentally breaking him down so I can build him up to something useful.
You're mentally breaking me down right now.
It's only up here from now. Why do you think I want to be friends with you?
Oh my gosh.
Anyways, Pyre grins.
I'm so far away from you.
Hey, Monica, I think you have someone to interview about these drawings. I bet you're just full of questions.
Okay. Let me think about how Anton's going to respond to your proposition of basically him being your bitch.
I stated it as a fact.
Yes, the fact that he is going to be your bitch.
Yeah.
Okay. Trust. I suppose, yeah. I mean, at this point, he would just say, look, if you can get these demons out of me, then fine, I'll do whatever you say. Just make the nightmares end.
Yeah, I can do that. It's not going to be easy. It's probably going to be painful. But again, I don't throw away useful things.
Alright. You wanted Monica to come over. Alright. Monica does skip over. She is excited to interview this artist. But, fast forwarding through some of the conversation, Anton doesn't seem to really know. He doesn't seem to know Abyssal. He doesn't seem to understand what it is he was writing. It's more so he describes drawing the images being more instinctual. And he also says that a lot of people, like a lot of strange people come to him all the time, and he doesn't understand why. Some days he completely blacks out and finds himself in another location entirely. But when you
I let her
he
lead
asks he asks for permission to kind of like show you how he's drawing things, and he says that he doesn't know how he's drawing any of these things, and he wants to show you how he's drawing instinctually.
Monica, prestidigitation if you would. Or Stefan, or Pyre waves a hand.
You want some of these erased so that they're not completed?
No, I don't want him to be covered in feces if he's going to show us things.
Oh,
Okay.
Same goes for the other two as well.
that probably wouldn't be bad.
Okay.
You
I
can
think
clean
Monica-
them up, can't you, Monica?
Yeah, Monica, I'm pretty sure she has prestidigitation. So
I'm pretty sure I don't.
So with a few snaps of her fingers, she gets all of the muck off of everyone.
I would suggest if you're going to let him do some drawings, that some of the ones he's done already be erased before he starts again, or we might have a problem here. From what Monica was saying, that they're interlocked
Oh.
but not completed.
Yeah, when she's done studying it, of course. I don't want to rush.
Yeah, I know she's.
Why
gonna
were we
study
down
it.
here again?
Simply to scout this meeting location, and that's me out of character. Well, I guess Ash would
Yeah,
say
I'm-
we were
That was me saying in character.
we were out here to scout out the location, but I guess we got more than we bargained for.
Yeah, I guess we could erase the symbols and everything. And
Erase
that
some.
will undo some of the damage. Hey, Ash,
Mon-
you want to scout around? See if there's any pathways?
thing is,
There's at least two ways to get here.
Oh,
Two
wait a
separate
second.
Doors. Those, paladins are coming up from a different direction.
you're very quiet again, Stefan. Could you
Oh,
move the mic
I'm
closer?
sorry.
Sorry.
I have a habit of leaning back. My mic is sitting on the desk. There's obviously different ways to get here. Those paladins came from a different way than we did. Came out from this door. I don't know. They seem to be coming here. I guess it's part of their route to patrol. But no, I think we need to erase some and maybe take that little bucket of paint with us and
Yeah. I
leave it-
just
not
mean
leave it behind for anybody to make any more of these symbols.
Monica,
I don't think academics fit Ash's interest. Giving him a chance to do something while he's waiting might prevent, you know.
Ash refuses. Ash actually
Great.
does refuse to leave this location. And he says,
What would you like
"Hey,
to do, Ash?
Okay. I'm not entirely sure how. Actually, he did describe his backstory before. So Ash would basically say, "It looks very familiar, but very different." I forget exactly how much he said about himself, though. Unfortunately, I'm just gonna leave it vague like that. It looks very familiar, but very different. I'm really interested in seeing what's going to happen. Because I get a feeling that whatever they were doing in Haradel, it probably was something similar to this. Were they summoning demons over there or something? But either
What would
way,
you-
yeah, he has an investment to seeing this.
What would you know about... Now's not the time. All right. I will make myself useful.
Monica also states that removing the magical residue that the ink has already put onto the walls is going to be a little bit more difficult than usual. Typically, you get rid of that magic by actually activating some sort of spell with the drawings. Otherwise, it lingers on that location until activated.
Anyway, we need somebody to dispel that, I guess.
Yep.
Yeah. I will settle for, while we're waiting, to just terrorize this man. Get to know him better. But besides that, I'm keeping an eye on him. I'll be his little personal bodyguard. Ask
I do
probing
that.
questions.
Alright. Zorg, are you there? I think he fell asleep.
He totally fell asleep.
I gave him a warning.
Is that ogre snoring we hear?
If only we could hear the snoring, but yeah, he's totally asleep. If he had
Try
to go
calling his
somewhere,
phone number. I don't know.
I don't have his phone. I'm not.
Ah.
Ash would probably have his phone number, but even then, he's. I think the last time I asked him, he said he didn't have his phone number. But yeah.
Well, maybe this is a good place to take a break.
We do have half an hour left in the session, so actually I could move the camera back to Quelkek if I think there's anything left. You're following the paladins. Well, it depends. We have knocked out some of the solo stuff, so if you want, we can do that solo. If not, then we can use these last 30 minutes to just do some of what happens with the paladins right now. What do you think, Zoid?
You know, I've spent this much time annoying them. I want to know the fruits of my labor.
Okay. So this beetle, it's something that's only... Is this beetle that's more native to your homeland in Darrence? Or did you choose one that is more of a local variant?
No, I had to make it stylized. It's technically one, so it's more of a scarab beetle. I would say mixture of scarab between rhino, so kind of a cross species, but
Okay. So it does look a little out of place, but since there's just so many people in this metropolis, you'd easily just get lost like a mice in this crowd. Your beetle does need to use its wings to fly up to a higher vantage point in order to keep track of them. And on top of that, you could probably just use yourself as well to just keep watch of them like Batman.
yeah, I am pushing forward with it, to keep myself in range of it. So I'm most definitely Batmaning my way across rooftops right now.
To be honest, it probably isn't the most unusual thing in Veer.
After some of this stuff, I really don't doubt that statement.
Yeah, I mean, to escape the local authorities, I can imagine that some street urchins and some street beggars use higher vantage points to just get away. And there is some crime.
You know what? If they think I'm a homeless person, that's fine. Even better.
I mean, you probably look the part.
I crawl through alleyways all day. I don't clean my tunic because I don't have nostrils. I mean, I do when I go to, I have enough to, like, if I'm going someplace. But if not, I don't care.
Okay. So the three of them, they immediately head to... They head to the Supreme Court. They head to the Supreme Court, and they go to the office of the High Inquisitor, who is Richard Devine. And they start making a plot against the party, and say that our plans for the underground might be compromised by these champions, these people that have been recruited by Mr. Veer and Mrs. Wright. Their actions are going to undermine our efforts. So we need to get them out of the way. I think it would be best if this was done, in a more under-the-table sort of way. Something that the Church of Serkava wouldn't want to embarrass itself with. I see. Well, they were... Let's see. Well, they were vaguely involved with that incident from earlier involving that Aasimar. So, if we can just bring up those charges and have them all be listed as accomplices, then we might be able to label all of them as cultists. And he says... I think that... Let's see... Secret was a bishop. I think the other position would be a bishop as well. He wouldn't be a cardinal. And he says... Go to the seer at the Church of Serkava, the one that's left. If you see Secret over there, just ignore him and keep the situation under wraps. We need to see the other one. Have him accidentally discover some heretical material in the rooms that the party that all of them are staying in. One in each. Indisputable proof. Then we'll send the Inquisition in and arrest all of them on heresy charges. I don't think if there's anything else special that they would say. Because they basically do just say the plot. They do say the plot that they have for you. They wouldn't talk to the judge yet because the charges have not been brought forwards yet. But he might be getting a notification. I think for right now, that's probably the information that you're getting, and if I think there's other information that you might be getting along the ways, or any other special research you want to do as Quelkek, then we can do this another time.
Yeah. That is like by the books. It's like by the books villain. I need to go tell someone. Wait, but it confirms that okay, hang on. Did he I need to be very careful when I ask this, because did Richard seem amused when they stated the two names of Veer or the lady? I forgot what you said. Like
Mrs. Wright.
a hint of amusement or of knowing.
I guess you could say it was a hint of amusement.
Was it more so of like, basically what I'm trying to get at, does he know something that they don't know about those two names? Because they say that Veer is against them. They say that. Did he act as the... Yeah, you get what I'm saying now?
Incriminates them. Okay.
Yeah, does he have a look that says, like, you guys don't think they're in on the plan, but I know that they are. So it's funny to me that you would bring up their names like they're our enemies.
So you're a little scarab. Okay.
Because I'm not gonna... If I don't have at least a concrete... This is going down soon, so I have to make my decision pretty quick on who I'm going to, because it's not happening if I don't go to someone.
Okay. Thing is, I don't... Even if they saw the scarab flying into the room, I still don't think they would pay it any mind. They really don't have any reason to unless they're demons and can see the soul link. So,
don't laugh like that when you say that. Like, oh, wouldn't it just be curious if they were?
Yeah, wouldn't it just be curious? They
know,
so that means that you could get, isolated and think that you're safe, and then I can pounce another trap on you.
I've had tons of traps. I've done desert traps. What they gonna do? I've done things in the past. I'm saying that with an overconfidence that I know is not behest of my character. But I'm gonna take this. So does he? Okay. I was waiting for that, or something, or if it was just like, no, you can't know. Thank goodness I have insight as a 6, as I put points into that.
So, as far as you can tell, he doesn't seem to incriminate Veer or Mrs. Wright in any way. It seems like they are genuinely enemies, from what you can tell from their body language, as well as from their tone of voice. Now, this is business as usual. It's us against them.
Alright, we're gonna have to... Well, Veer's gonna get another visit from me. And also secret, so whatever is on the way to the other one, we're doing them in order.
Secret should already be out of the town by now.
Okay, well, then we're gonna visit... Oh, then he's not here to cover for me. Crap. Well, you know what? I guess he's just gonna have a dude show up at his door. He's like, I gotta tell someone. And... Wait, they know where the party is? They know where they're the room. They're saying that they're gonna put in the rooms. Isn't the party staying at like a hotel or something?
No, you're staying at the church.
Oh, they're staying at the church still. Oh.
Yeah.
You know what's gonna be funny? But everyone's got their stuff unpacked there. I would love to have it so that I tell everyone in the party to pack up their things, but tell the people that they're still there, so that the only thing in the room when they come back is just the books. Just the books in there. And it's like, what happened to everything else? Now that would indicate that they would still put the book in an empty room. But that being said, that would be hilarious to have that happen. Yeah, we're going to Veer first. I don't trust the dude at the Church of Sirkava right now because I don't have secret to cover for me and explain why there's an 8-foot tall dude who's telling you that that he wants access to your mind. It's kind of a difficult thing to go up to someone random and say, I would like access to your mind, please, so I can show you images. It starts getting kind of weird. So
Oh no,
I'm gonna
you
go to
stubbed
Veer
your
first.
Oh no, you stubbed your foot. Here, let me heal you.
Yeah. Let's go to Veer first. Unfortunately, he's the only guy that I have right now that even has. The only guy. That's it.
Alright. And I think we can probably save this one for another time.
Yep. But that is my plan.
Alright. So, what did everyone think of the session?
I thought it was fun. Missing Ash, which is a bit of a bummer, but it was fun. It worked out well. Got to do some role playing and intimidate someone.
Mhm.
Show off how much of a psychopath Pyre is.